There's like next to nothing I can do about it. As long as is that my
Previously on Star Trek Dawn of the Federation, the USS Aurora in orbit of Gamma Serpentis had managed to purge an alien computer virus from its systems before it crashed into the planet, and after the purge, it reestablished a regular orbit. Once the virus was eliminated, communications with the away team on the planet below were reestablished. The away team had found some kind of ancient transport portal to other worlds and made contact from survivors from the Vulcan Science Academy ship Tenor on an unknown world. Dr. Harrison and Lieutenant Commander Nolan have joined the Vulcans there, taking a portable power supply to activate the portal on the planet and help the Vulcan team, some of whom are injured. The power core from the portal on the planet below is unstable and is likely to either shut down once and for all or fail catastrophically in approximately 9 standard hours. It is March 2nd, 2165.
Vogel just hopped into the roll 20.
Right. So we start off today's episode. Hello, Captain. Do you want to give your log? We're not hearing you.
Yeah.
Captain!
Congratulations, Commander. You're now in charge of the ship.
So anyway, I kind of summed up. I did it previously on. So we will start at the outpost below with Commander Morox and Lieutenant Merrick.
Right. So it would help if I plugged my mic in.
That does tend to help.
I was gonna say if the captain doesn't show up in 15 minutes, we're all legally allowed to leave.
No, it's not college. And
That's
that doesn't
not
even work in college.
That's not even a rule.
Right.
I don't think Harrison would let you shirk your duties.
Right. Also, to go really dark, if the captain commits suicide, you don't all get normal milestones.
Oh.
Okay. That's good to know.
Ooh.
So,
After suicide, the chief medical officers are not even on the same planet that they're at.
So, Commander Morox, you are in the portal room. It's been about 45 minutes-ish since the doctor and chief engineer left with a couple of members of the Vulcan science crew to go help their injured comrades. And as you're kind of in the portal room checking things out, and through the activated portal, you see outside the opening of whatever building's on the other side and a shuttlecraft of an unknown type land. And then very shortly thereafter, two extremely large felinoid creatures with some sort of handguns very quickly and very professionally clear the room where the portal goes in. At which point another large felinoid creature comes in, apparently exchanges some words with the two soldier types who exit the room, while the newcomer, who appears to be a little bit more bedecked with some you don't know if they're symbols of rank or what, but obviously from the way he or she or it acted towards the warriors, is in command, pulls out a kind of bulky hand scanner and approaches the portal on the other side.
Okay. Morox to Merrick. We may have company over here.
Understood, Commander. I'm on my way. Though, keep in mind that the portal currently is one way unless they manage to tie in both systems.
Well, I was thinking more about having a nice conversation with them. If possible.
So this felinoid, which is about 8 feet tall, generally cat-like, except its legs are kind of short and its torso is kind of long and heavy, and also its ears, while furred, are more almost batwing-like.
Oh no.
And it's taking scans, and you see it approaching the side where earlier you saw Lieutenant Commander Nolan rigging up the portable power supply that he took across with him, and the creature kind of hunkers down. You see a hairless, kind of rat-like tail. The rest of the body is covered in this very, luxurious, absolutely gorgeous, kind of glowing orange striped fur, almost tiger-like. But this long tail is absolutely naked and hairless, and is kind of twitching as it squats to run the scanner over the power supply.
Alright, that's probably a good time to try and contact the away team.
All right. So are you going to contact the away team?
Yes, very much.
Okay. So, Dr. Harrison. Your communicator chirps.
Hello, Harrison here.
Rockstar away team. It looks like, how close are you to the gateway?
You're about a half
Fairly
hour's
far
walk.
away.
Yeah.
You've
And
got
you don't
company, your end.
Not going to be moving very quickly. We have a very sick Vulcan that we've had to carry.
Alright, we've got company, your side of the gate.
Are they felinoid?
Yes, advanced felinoids with a shuttlecraft and weapons. They're currently examining the power supply you hooked up.
That's not good, Commander. These things are very dangerous and hostile.
Alright, we'll see if we can establish contact.
Not to anger them, Commander.
I wasn't planning on doing so. Alright, well, keep us informed. Your progress.
Harrison out.
Alright, Morrox to Aurora.
Go ahead, Commander.
Appears we may have first contact over here. Some form of advanced felinoid species has appeared on the other side of the portal. They're between the away team and getting back.
Are they hostile?
According to Harrison, they are. They're also armed, which doesn't help their case.
Very good. I will send down another security detachment just in case they are needed. But do not fire unless fired upon, Commander.
I don't think that's an issue. The portal's currently one way. But just in case, if you send anyone down, be sure to let them know it's going to be a bumpy ride.
Will do. Thank you, Commander.
Alright, Morok's out. Alright. Let's see if we can let's see how chatty our friends are. Let's open the good old hailing frequencies to our Our slightly armed and dangerous neighbours.
Merrick, were you moving to join the commander at the portal, or are you staying in the control room?
He didn't order me to join him.
Oh no,
so-
that's fine. I'm
I'm
just asking.
I said you may want to come down here. We got some company.
Oh, well, then in that case, yes, I will move to join.
Get your ass down here.
Are you able to move that token? Yes.
Our tokens.
All right. So you're wanting to try and contact the creatures on the other side.
Yep.
All right. So give me a control engineering difficulty 1 to try and open up a broad frequency.
Okay. Yeah, none of those are going to help. Don't know. Would Unified Field Theory have any impact?
Don't think so.
Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch.
Do you want
mate.
me to do this? 'Cause,
Yeah, probably. You may have.
subspace communications for a focus?
Yes.
Yeah, you do it. I'll help.
Take a threat. What was the difficulty again?
It's,
Said one.
Just difficulty 1.
it's one
Need
of the
some
two of us do
momentum.
it. We should be able to do it. Control engineering. Right. Come on. There we go.
All right. So it looks like you gain 3 momentum out of that. So you see the crouching entity kind of, his lip kind of lifts in a snarl. He doesn't really take his eye off the scanning device as he reaches down to his belt and opens up, again, kind of a blocky looking communicator device. And you hear this kind of yowling growl, which I'm not even going to try and duplicate, but it literally sounds like, when a cat, one of those tongue is kind of thing, only much gruffer.
I take that as a maybe. Lieutenant, can you make any heads of that?
The only thing
So
to do
are
is just keep talking. We'll try to find a baseline. If we can.
Okay, so you guys had, did you leave the communication open when you just had that conversation?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, you see the creature leap backwards with, shall we say, cat-like reflexes. Ow, and my cat just nibbled my finger. About 8 feet, landing crouched with a scanner in his left clawed hand and a pistol of some sort in his right, looking around. And you hear from a distance, because you dropped the communicator on the ground, more of that yowling and growling.
Okay, calm down. It's no need to get all hysterical. Just trying to communicate. They can't see us.
You notice his ears are just flat on his head, and the way that they're kind of batwing like allows them to really just fold flat against the skull.
See, we're communicating to you through that aperture in front of you. We're not actually there.
He very cautiously stands back up, and you see him kind of look over his shoulder and speak, apparently to the guards outside. Very faintly, you hear some answering yowling, and then he slowly approaches the communicator that you can see lying on the ground, and kind of looks around the space, checking, obviously clearing the room again, very kind of professionally, and then holsters his pistol and picks up the communicator. So, Merrick, you can now, with communications reestablished with the ship, tie your communicator directly into the ship's universal translator to give it more, give it full access to that database.
I will do that.
Okay. Difficulty 0. It's just a momentum roll. Control engineering.
Subspace communications for focus.
Yup. Okay, so you are capped with 6 momentum.
Here we go.
So there's kind of an exchange. You've got enough from the growling, and finally it kind of goes, "Who's this?"
Ah, that seems to be working now. My name is Commander Morox, with the... It's Federation by this point, isn't it? Federation ship Aurora.
I am Chufrit of the Patriarch's line. Where are you?
Well, long story short, that aperture ahead of you is full of
Commander.
space. Yes?
He can't see that.
There is a ring in front of him. It's just not active.
Yeah, they're in a ring room. Otherwise, they're not getting back. Oh, it's a form of subspace tunnel. You see, we can see you and talk to you, and so yes, we're standing on this side, and you're on that side.
You see his head kind of cocked, and he says, "You will surrender this technology to the Patriarchy immediately."
I'm afraid I'm not in much of a
Stop my
position
hunting.
to surrender anything. See, the portal is one way.
Kind of growls.
I'm afraid we're on a rescue mission. We have injured crew members on your side of the portal. We're trying to recover them.
He kind of laughs. He says, "You don't have crew members on this side of the portal. I have prey on this side of the portal. If you want your crew back alive, you will surrender this technology immediately."
Well, like I said, I'm not in much of a position to do that. You see, I don't own this technology. In fact, will be much less of it in a couple of hours.
Then we have nothing further to talk about. And he closes his communicator.
Wait,
And he squats back down by the power, the portable power supply with his scanner. You see him with one eye on the scanner. He reaches out with another hand, and it's kind of just like he's outside of frame. And then suddenly the portal flashes blue, and then it starts cycling back through its destinations, only the jungle planet is no longer one of them. And so in scene 1, so go down a momentum, and we will move to the bridge. I think, yes, I have Osborne at his station. Captain, you're free to do your log down.
Huzzah! Captain's log, March 2nd, 2165. The alien virus that infected the computer and wreaked havoc on our systems has been purged. With all our systems seemingly back under control, we're able to reestablish communications with the OA team. It seems they found some kind of portal to other worlds. They have used this portal to make contact with the survivors of the Tenor, albeit on a planet not on any star chart. Dr. Harrison and Commander Nala, hopefully I said that right, have gone to this planet to bring the Vulcans back. They do not have a lot of time, as it seems seismic activity on Gamma Draconis has made the portal on our end unstable and is likely to stop working in about 9 hours. I have moved the ship into orbit of Gamma Draconis. Hopefully our system glitches are truly resolved. End log.
All right. So yes, there seem to be no further weird glitches. The repairs, which are minor, are proceeding apace. The ship seems to be rapidly getting back to perfect working order.
So have I just been here the whole time? I just wasn't in this position, or how are we playing this?
Yeah, you've been a part of the security staff. You just haven't had a bridge shift until now. Yeah, the ship is
so
over
is
a
it-
month away from Earth at warp 6.5.
So that's Chief Osborne, right?
Yep, Master Chief Specialist.
Chief, I want you to organize a security detachment to send down to the planet. It sounds that they might need them.
Understood. I'll get on that right away.
Any luck in locating this other planet, Lieutenant? That'd be for Namadi.
Yeah. Captain, I have no way of even knowing what part of the sky to scan for. There doesn't seem to be any traceable radiation from the planet to anywhere.
What information do we know about this gateway?
Okay, someone want to grab Namadi or Namdi?
Nob,
Do some rolls.
Namdi. I think.
Like Morox or Harrison or Merrick, you want to?
Why did we choose such difficult names to pronounce?
That's my fault. I wanted to make it kind of a,
Like, now we all have to suffer.
If we can pronounce Tereshkova, we can pronounce Namdi.
There you go. So if someone wants to grab Namdi and give me a, let's call it control science, difficulties 2, assisted by the ship's computer science.
Computer science.
Okay, so she made it. Looks like you gain a momentum, capping you back again.
Go ship.
Yeah. Let me send something to Harrison/Namdi.
Yeah, not bad when it's not falling out of the sky.
What exactly?
It's fine.
What exactly are you searching here? How are you trying to pull this information up? Equivalent to what kind of keyword search or whatever you're doing?
Well, try to see if.
All we know is
Oh wait, yeah, other player. Sorry. Don't mind me.
I'm confused now.
Don't mind me.
Harrison, I think you have Namdi. So the captain asked you to what kind of information we have on these gates? I think. So how were you? What were you looking for uh, with that role? How were you? What kind? How were you asking the question? Is what I'm getting at.
All we know is it's some kind of ancient technology that somehow teleports people from one place to another using a wormhole-like structure.
Okay. And the search of the ship's database gives you something else I shall send you right now.
Seems, Captain, that we have found some kind of very new technology for our information. There's no records of any technology like this in Federation databases. At
What
least
ab-
nothing beyond mythical writings from various civilizations.
What about the Vulcan databases? The
At,
Vulcans have traveled the galaxy much farther than we have. Perhaps
at,
there's
the,
a mention of something similar.
at this point, the Vulcan databases has been fully integrated with the new Federation databases. The Vulcans have been extraordinarily forthcoming.
Gotcha. So it's not even in there.
Right.
Are we getting any readings off of this gateway? Any way that we could try to trace its destination?
I'm not even sure how it works, let alone how to trace it.
Forgive my typing.
There is no radiation signature, there's no emissions, nothing. Just the power supply under the outpost. Where it took them.
This is truly a mystery of technology.
We didn't have the technology right in front of us. I would say they were whisked away by some kind of magical energy.
Everything in this universe has a basis in science. I think it is just a case of trying to understand that science.
There's always an answer out there.
I agree, Chief. And I think it is our duty to try to figure that out.
And he nods.
So, Captain, is there anything else you want the ships and ship's crew to do before we let
I
Osborne
am
gather his minute people?
probably send maybe a small science team down to you to try to study the gateway in further detail.
Okay, yeah, that'll be a 2 momentum spin together a science team.
Yep, that would be fine. It's not like we don't have it.
Right.
Yeah, at some point I'd radio up about what's happened with the gate. About the whole possibly losing the midway team.
Osborne, do you want to just spend another 2 momentum to take a security team, or do you want to take a support character or two?
Well, I guess the question is, what's the different what?
Basically, spending the momentum for a security team gives you the advantage security team, which just functions like an advantage. Whereas with actual Supporting characters, you've got supporting characters who have a little bit more. Yeah, extra red shirts, a little bit more skilled. At this point, though, unless we want to make up one real quick, Ensign Gade is already in the on the alien planet, while Kirby Ellison is the only security support character left. Although you could take, a science support too if you wanted.
Feel free to lead the expedition, the science team yourself.
I might just do that.
Probably gonna have to adjust some ranks on the security people since Osborne's gonna be the chief.
Because then you have a player character and a security team adventure.
Yeah. Well, they have a saying on Mars: you want something done right, do it yourself.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Chief. And I'll nod.
So then it'll be just Osborne leading the away team.
Yeah.
Yep. And you've got a science team advantage. Do you want to take any supporting characters with you? Or any captain could always come. It'd be weird. He could come.
The last senior officer leaving the ship doesn't seem like a good idea, though.
Oh,
Not at all. But the captain will be fine. The ship tried to blow up around him once already. It'll be fine.
yeah. It'll be fine.
It's still good. It's still good. It's just a little airborne.
The
What's
captain didn't
worth
really
it?
see a problem until things started falling. It's like the fire is over in engineering. Is it really happening?
If I don't see it, it doesn't exist. But this is coming from the captain that first day on the job tried to blow up the engine. So it's
dear.
fine.
Yeah. Literally, right out of the gate, he tried to blow the ship up.
Hey, we got this ship to warp 7.2, damn it.
So are we going to be taking
Yes.
Are we going to be
You gave
taking?
our chief engineer a heart attack, but yes.
So are we going to be taking a shuttlecraft, or are we going to chance the transporters?
Always shuttlecraft, Chief.
Got it.
Extreme emergencies only for transporters.
Yep, that's what I thought. Actually, hang on. Let me check the flight
Harrison
control.
had already stated to the captain that unless it's in an emergency, best not to use those.
Yeah, so which pilot do
Actually,
you
in
want?
that case, might it be a good idea to bring along a flight control MP?
I'm gonna activate Frank's.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, then I'm playing Frank's.
Yeah.
One's mine.
Oh, hey there, Chris Pratt.
Exactly. That's actually the accurate description of him too.
Ha.
He's basically just Star-Lord.
Should have just gave him his character name from Parks and Rec.
Okay, and you've got a
I should have just called him Peter Quill.
So. Okay. In that case, yeah, we'll have him fly us down.
anybody besides Franks and the science team?
I think that's it. Besides, the shuttle pods can't carry that many people, can they?
I think they're
Down with like 5 people, I believe.
So is it a science team of 3?
um,
Maybe
I'll tell you.
2 scientists and 2 people that can shoot a phaser.
Well, we might need to bring someone back with us.
Yeah,
So
1 pilot, 5 passengers.
okay, so we have room, but we might need to bring some people back with us. So
Fair enough. And there's another shuttle on the planet as well.
Yeah,
so I think we'll-
there's more shuttle pods where that came from.
Just don't try to crash this one. That's it.
So
Don't worry, I'm flying again.
all right. So
Oh,
any other scans or anything you want the ship to do, Captain?
Nope, just waiting for my team to let me know what the ship needs to do.
All right. So we'll go. Actually, better. To the shuttle pod. Yeah, Grinnan, I have permission to use these maps as long as I don't change anything, which is why they are. They have kind of some
Yeah.
extraneous stuff to the sides and around them, and why you
That's
occasionally
fine.
NX01 and stuff on it. There you are in the shuttle pod with the science team and Frank's piloting. So Frank's again, the atmosphere is kind of rough and stormy. Lots of updrafts and storm fronts. So give me a daring con difficulty 2 to get the shuttle down safely.
Focus in
Is
shuttlecraft.
this Frank's first?
Yep.
Okay.
And if Frank's has been activated before, don't forget you can give him something.
This is literally the first time we've used him.
Okay. If you'll note that on his.
Yeah, so that's the
maps.
thing. If
Yeah.
it's the first time you've used him, then no.
Oh, I did forget there is one thing I want them to want the sensor officer to keep a lookout for is the Vulcan ship. Now
Okay.
that our systems are back up, just always be scanning for that ship. Long
Okay.
range, short range, medium range, possible escape routes in case they had to leave.
Extra large range.
Yeah, right. Super
Ludicrous
duper
range.
extreme range.
Fun size range.
All right.
King size range.
Oh no.
00.
That's no good.
That's a bad.
I'm going to actually throw a couple of threat on the table.
That wasn't a complication.
Complication. It's just
But now it is.
Yeah.
Now it is because
we're
he
not
spent
good.
threat.
Now we're dying.
Okay. Yeah. So the shuttle is suddenly buffeted and hit by an electrical discharge, sending it into a fast spin. Franks, you'll need to make daring con difficulty 3 to bring it out of the spin.
Spend some momentum.
No, it's
Please.
fine. Just gotta spend some threat. It's fine.
So you do have 4 momentum.
Fine.
All right.
Shuttle assist. Does the shuttle assist?
Oh yeah, shuttle assists with
And-
engines con,
Say engine's gone probably.
but it's a 22nd century shuttle pod, so good luck with it.
Never know. Engines con. So we're rolling a 6 here, boys. 15. Nope.
Well, it is a brick with wings.
It's fine.
Right.
This is all part of Frank's plan.
All right. So you're in an uncontrolled spin. You're heading down to the planet's surface fast and hard. You can try and pull it up and at least gain some level of control with a daring con difficulty 4.
I don't think we can do it.
It's fine. I got this. We'll just spend momentum and threat to get 4 die.
Oh my god.
It's fine. That's basically what Frank's saying. This is fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. I got this.
Everything's fine. Situation normal. How are you?
So how many dice are you buying?
Not feeling
got
you
4.
much confidence there, Franks.
So how many? I saw 2.
Hey.
So one threat and 2 momentum is what it was.
Whew, okay, you succeeded. Let's see if the ship gets us any momentum back.
Engines gone, correct?
Yup.
All right. We're going to try shuttle pod 3 this time.
There you go.
All right. I am always going to use shuttle pod 3.
All right. Gain 1 momentum. You manage to pull out of the spin and get its nose up just as you are about to come down. You still land hot. I need everybody to give me a fitness medicine roll, difficulty 2.
Okay, I'm gonna spend momentum if that's cool.
Yep.
Okay. Right. So the shuttle coming in hot, its front landing skid snaps as it noses in hard. Everyone is kind of thrown against the restraint. Unfortunately, Ensign Franks is thrown right face first into the control panel, taking 5 stress. That is an injury.
Damn.
Conscious, it's fine.
Fatality.
It's not dead. He still has 4 stress left. No, he has 7. He has
No.
11.
And
Oh,
he's
okay.
spending, right.
I'm going to spin
Collapse, he's
threat.
fine.
That is a lethal injury.
He's dead.
That look.
We didn't bring one. We brought 2 science people.
You say about the transporter?
He's dead.
Oh, damn it.
He's dead.
Face full of console.
Thanks for your help, Price.
And Osborne's immediately going to go over to him and try to, he's going to carefully bring him down to the floor.
Who's good at daring medicine?
Well, it's
there's
just
only
me.
Yeah.
I guess I have to roll daring medicine then. What's the difficulty?
I have my cheat sheet right here in front of me.
Should just be 1.
I think it might be 2 because I don't have any equipment.
The shuttle actually has a med kit.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Okay, he's
I
going to
see my
motion on one of
enterprise
the
air
science
shuttles, they
officers.
really are
Grab me the med kit off the wall.
They hand you the med kit.
Okay, here we go. Go. Oh, not again. I'm going to spend a momentum to gain a 3rd die.
Okay. Yeah, it's you're doing first aid, so it's daring medicine difficulty 2.
Yep. Whew.
Okay, so yes, you have stabilized Ensign Franks. He will not die, but he'll definitely need to get healed up in sick bay. You don't have the momentum necessary to get him right back on his feet. However, if you want to, I will accept 1 momentum and 1 threat to get him. What do they call it? Back in the battle immediately, or whatever.
I think I'm not gonna play that game.
Okay.
You could probably just let him relax on the bench here.
Yeah,
until the end
exactly.
of the
Like,
season.
He's
I motion to the science. I motion to the
He,
science
he,
officers.
just, he just coughs and looks up at you. How is my landing?
Well, you didn't make a good first impression.
But you did
Look-
survive.
Is it at least memorable?
And he rolls his eyes and he walks back over to the console. He's gonna see if the comms are working.
Roll me a challenge die, just 1.
Oh, great. I love everything about this.
Yeah, comms are working.
Oh, great. Okay. I forget. Do the shuttle pods have names? No,
it's
they
just-
just have numbers.
You're in shuttle pod 1.
This
Actually,
is shuttle pod.
Shuttle pod 2. Well, shuttle pod 1 went earlier. Yeah.
Okay, this is shuttle pod 2 to Aurora.
Go ahead, Shuttlepod.
I don't know if you were tracking that descent we just made, but, well, we took a pretty nasty dive.
How is everyone holding up?
Well, Ensign Franks is in a bad way. He's not gonna die, but he's gonna need some medical attention.
Is he stabilized for now?
Yes, he is.
For Frank's sake, why can't I feel my face?
Since this is the second shuttle pod that seemed to have crashed on this planet, let me know if his condition changes. And we'll take more drastic measures if need be.
How do you want us to proceed, Captain?
Proceed with the original mission. Just keep your eye on what is he, an ensign? On the
Okay. I haven't even done a proper diagnostic on the shuttle. I suppose I should do that next. I'll keep you posted.
All right. Good
wait
work,
till you
Chief.
And he just shrugs. He says, "We want you for Starfleet," they said. "It'll be fun," they said.
It
And he
was
walks over.
pretty fun for me.
And he walks over to the console, and he wants to do a diagnostic on the shuttle. How screwed are we?
Okay. Give me control engineering difficulty 1.
I'm not going to spend any momentum for that one. Focuses for this, and we get a momentum.
Nicely done. The From what you can tell, there's definitely some structural damage, particularly to the nose cone kind of area. Looks like phase cannon and primary sensors are down. The forward landing strut has been ripped off. The rear struts have been bent out of frame. However, thrusters and engines and basic hull integrity in terms of life support appears to still be functional. So
Okay.
you think it could take off. You're probably going to want to the Aurora to tractor or grapple you
I was gonna
in
say grapple.
rather than making a landing bay. So, and the flight is going to be difficult because you really got no sensors.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well then, how far out are we from the location?
Oh, Frank's managed to get you on like the plateau of the outpost. It basically has been like a kind of a mountaintop has been at some point in the distant past been cut off, kind of like they do in coal country, and the base built down into the mountain and sitting on top of it with this larger space for craft to land. So, I mean, you've dug a little trench, but you are in within 100 meters of the outpost.
Okay. Okay. Well, Frank, you're not going to be. You're in no position to move.
Oh, and life support and everything's fine too. This planet is Andor-like, so it's bitterly cold.
Okay, if I'm not needed any, I think I'm going to take a nap, and he passes out.
Okay.
All right. He turns to the two scientists. He says, "We're not going to do Franks any good. Just sitting here. We need to get moving."
All right, so you head to the outpost then.
Yep.
All right, you make your way in. Hopefully everyone is now seeing the outpost map.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, we'd probably be in the control room trying to get the portal back. On target.
Yeah, feel free to move your guys wherever you want to move your tokens. I just sort of dumped everybody in the same room.
Where's the entrance?
Entrance is up top. The stairs lead down. Control
So
room
that's
is
where
here.
I think we're coming from then.
Right.
And can someone move those two scientists?
Here, let me just. There you go. All right. So, yes, Osborne, you arrive. Power has been restored to the outpost, so the exterior door swishes open. All these doors will automatically open as you move through. Let's drag that. Okay. So, yeah.
Do I hear anything? Anyone?
Well, there's there's definitely a power hum to the place. The lights are on.
You can probably hear us talking in the corner. Alright, so it's this weird squiggly sign. It looks like an antenna sticking out. What does that mean?
So I hear them talking. For the two scientists to follow me.
Okay.
I make my way to this door. Is it closed?
They're opening automatically. They're like without even. You don't even have to press the panel like you do aboard the Aurora.
Oh, well, that's unique.
They just move up into the ceiling and then close behind you. Are you moving in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello there.
Oh, come on, it's got to be one of these. Oh, hi there. Come on. Still working.
I need a situation report.
Oh, I passed it earlier. Never mind. Well, bad news. We lost contact the away team. Looks like those feline creatures messed with the receiver on their end.
Feline creatures?
Never mind. It's other side of the wormhole. There's some not too friendly inhabitants. Looks like they disconnected the hub from their end. Trying to find a way of re-establishing it.
Am I cutting out?
Did you say something back then?
Huh?
Did you say something before you said cut out?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds like I cut out. Said,
Yeah.
all right, could you explain that in layman's terms?
It's a bit difficult to while deciphering alien language. Let's say. Right, did you know? Okay, so the portal connects this side to another planet.
Another planet.
Yes.
Okay. And
As you see, it folds spaces in the. Okay, so this side, that planet connected. This is some sort of outpost, a hub for this network. Now, on the other side, our away team is with the Vulcan survivors. However, there is a rather not too friendly species also on that side, and they have tampered with the connection on their side, so we can't reach them.
all right. Now, there's a bit of a further development, I suppose. We crashed on our way down here. Our shuttle
Again?
pilot.
I
Our
thought
sh-
you said to be careful.
Our shell pilot is alive, but he's in a bad way. He's going to need medical attention.
I'm not much of a doctor.
We
How
could
bad?
use the aperture, Commander, when it focuses around back to the Aurora, and the pilot, we could walk the pilot through the aperture. He should be fine.
Hey, how sure are you of this?
I mean, the way team, well, the other half of the way team went through the aperture to the planet, so. And we did throw a rock through, and it went through okay.
It's an option. It's an option. Besides, it's hardly. Well, it's
Okay.
yeah.
Well, he's currently in stable condition. He's in no danger of bleeding out on us, but as I said, he's going to need medical attention.
All right. Well, first things first. We need to see if we can reestablish contact with the UA team.
All right.
Let's do on their side as well.
That's what I suppose these two are for. And he motions over to the scientists.
Okay, so yes, you have the advantage of a science team now, which works just like an advantage. You can reduce difficulty, all that kind of stuff. So what are you attempting to do here in the control room?
Ooh, that's probably going to be computer related. We need to basically get it to reconnect to that end, so that planet reappears.
Okay, so now that you're tied in with the ship and have been kind of able to upload the information that Merrick has previously gained about the language, the universal translator is starting to get a little bit better of a handle on it, but of course it's a little bit more difficult since it's not spoken. So because written and spoken languages can have a lot of differences, obviously. So Merrick, give me, let's do insight engineering, difficulty 2.
Xenolinguistics for a focus?
Yes.
So engineering, I'll also help.
Take a threat.
Okay. Yeah. Remember, you definitely can have an assist, and okay.
I'm gonna roll, see if I get into a complication.
Okay. Wow. So that is 3 momentum gained. Send you something.
Well, all this is thoroughly beyond me. And he just sort of leans against the bulkhead.
Let me edit that really quickly.
They're not the only one. It's not every day you encounter whatever this is.
I'm here to keep you all safe. And, well, this motions around, not safe.
Yes, it's about to explode in a few hours, if I recall. And if we reestablish the portal, our waiting may need some help.
It would have, if I'm reading this correct, Commander, it would appear that at least the gate on our side is set to, if I'm reading this correctly, transmit. Does not. It won't accept any incoming requests without switching the gate to receive. So either we have to set this gate to receive and the other one on the planet surface to set it to transmit, though we don't know the location. Could be might be better for set the other gate to receive. But they are both. It appears if they're both simultaneously wanting to transmit to each other, they'll just cancel each other out and eliminate the locations from the computer memory, which we would lose the way
That-
team and the Vulcan science.
It's not the
team.
memory. It's more like a safety feature.
Oh,
A two-way connection is not possible the way it's set up. So if both are trying to transmit, they just sort of blip over. You know, that they won't even make that connection. It will not show up as an option. So that's why you think you're not seeing the jungle world and the rotating destinations.
okay. We're no longer seeing it anymore. The jungle world.
Right. There was a blue flash, and then it went through the same thing: the Class L world, the Class Y, the Aurora bridged, the damaged station in space, and then the Mars-like planet. But then after the Mars-like, you had before seen the jungle planet, but now it just skips right back to the frigid world. So it's like the safety interlock basically is kicked in, where since they're both trying to transmit, it just sort of the system doesn't allow that, and so it's no longer on the destination menu because you can't get there from here right now because it's trying to transmit too.
Ah, that makes things considerably more interesting. What's Osborne's actual rank?
Master Chief Specialist.
Oh, specialist though. Ah. All right, Chief. We may. All right. So, what they set their end to transmit, and if we're also transmitting, cancels each other out. So that means to get the away team back, we'll have to send it to receive, which also means our other hospitable neighbors will be able to come over here.
Hospitable neighbors.
Yes. As in very well armed, rather unfriendly neighbors.
I see.
He's referring to the Phileas Catius creatures.
The
Humanoid.
what?
Phileas Catius. It's the scientific name for cats.
And he just sort of raises an eyebrow at you and said, "Why didn't you just say cats?"
But we don't know their proper designation yet. So saying cat is a little bit too generic.
I don't think they care very much. All right. So, your team was some distance away from the gate. However, we have to reactivate it sooner rather than later. They may not have time to rework their side. So we may have to do a periodic what we could do is we re-establish it our end to receive a third transmission and close the gate for our friends can join us.
But how do we know they're not in the control room yet? Or at least on their end.
Well, we just need to establish contact first. We'll just see what the away team's up to.
But their gate on their end is set to transmit.
Yes, we said ours to receive. Now remember, we communicated while transmitting. They can send back to us. So
Right.
signals must be
But
two-way.
we also opened the doorway for them to the cat creatures to invade this compound and take over the outpost before we have a chance to retrieve the away team and the Vulcan research personnel.
Yes, which is why we'd open it momentarily for quick communication to the away team, then close it before they realise what's happened. If that's possible. By the way, we will have to open it. Otherwise, the away team's stuck there. They may not be able to establish contact at the time they have left.
would it be possible to do something to disrupt the feline? He's like trying to pronounce the
Oh, just say cat, will you?
cats. Can we do something to disrupt their activity long enough for us to pull our people out?
Yeah,
Get
we have
our
no
people out
control.
before get
Have
our
no
people
control
out before
over
they
that
know
end.
what's happening.
I mean, there's always the violent solution. I don't know.
I mean, can we do something to jam their operations on their end from our side? And while they're scrambling to figure everything out, we pull our people out.
Not quite. If we set ours to receive, it's be one way. We don't have access to their computer.
Right? Thought that'd be too easy.
I think the best we can hope for is to reestablish contact and make sure they don't pay a visit to us in the meantime. Unless we can convince them to switch it around again, which I don't see happening.
Right.
So,
Well,
what do you guys
I
want?
I want the safety of you and the our men on the other side, but you are higher rank than I am, so whatever plan you sign off on, I'll follow. Although I would suggest passing anything by the captain first.
Yes, of course. Anyone had any other suggestions?
And Osborne just crosses his arms, leans against the bulkhead.
Alright, in which case, get it ready. Alright. Brox to Aurora.
Go ahead, Commander.
Alright, we may be able to reestablish the gateway to the other side. However, for now, we can only send it to receive. So our unfriendly neighbours will be able to walk over. However, it may be the only way to re-establish contact with the UA team. I'm considering reopening the gateway for a short time, opening the comm channel, then closing it.
I trust your judgment, Commander. If you feel this is the best course of action, I support your.
I'm afraid it's either this or the UA team walks back, Captain. Sound of it.
Continue with your plan, Commander. Let me know if you need anything.
Alright, we'll do. Brox out. Alright, specialist, if you wouldn't mind, we may be having some uninvited guests. We can't close it fast enough.
My least favorite kind. He follows after you, and he says, "Now I would like to make the suggestion, as soon as we have our people through, everything else is secondary. We need to fall back. They can advance as much as they want, but we need to fall back."
Alright, well, hopefully we're just going to open the gateway for a few seconds. I just need a status report, see how close they are. Mr. Merrick, get ready to set the gate down the instant I call for it, okay? Alright. Zoom.
And he says, "I'd get your phase pistol out. This might get messy." And he gets his out. And phase pistols don't have any I'll look up like what they do, how they work.
They
It's
are stun or kill.
no charge. Yeah. I think it's 3 challenge dice.
Yep. Ooh, wow.
And
I
in this
roll.
era, pulse rifles are also standard equipment, so you don't have to pay extra to bring along a rifle.
Oh. Neat. I'll remember that for next time.
Alright. Here goes. Nothing. All right, Merrick, open it up.
So, okay, what are you trying to do with the gate?
We're going to try and set it to receive,
Okay.
let it open, then we're going to quickly establish contact, then close. By switching it back to transmit.
Okay. So Merrick, give me control engineering difficulty 1, but I'm going to up the complication range to 2.
Take a threat for the reroll.
I was just or could you use the advantage to lower the complication range?
You certainly could.
Sure.
Okay, so now normal complication range. Okay, so you gain a momentum. So Morox and Osborne, what you see basically is the gate completely shuts down. So what you're looking at now is this, annulus that just frames nothing, and right behind it are the metal walls of the back of this room.
Is that supposed to happen?
So, no, Merrick, what's going on?
It's set to transmit, Commander. But it depends on what they have to do on their end.
I thought you were shutting down the gate or setting it to receive.
Yeah,
We're
so it's
saying-
receive.
Yeah. Okay.
Which leaves it up to them on their side, if I'm presuming correctly.
Ah.
So it's all a matter of who takes the first step.
And with that, we'll change scenes and let's go back to the jungle planet.
Oh dear.
No pressure, guys.
Fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Nothing's
So,
wrong.
It's fine. It's just a Grennan nightmare. It's fine.
I did ask Lycos for permission if somebody wants to play Erickson. Since he's not here today, Lycos gave us the okay to play for Erickson. So if somebody would like to claim that, I will give you control over the character sheet. Actually, oh no, you're already playing Gade or Gade, however you pronounce her
Yep.
name. So who wants to play the chief engineer?
Wait, is the chief engineer an NPC?
Oh,
No,
he's a
the
player
player-
character who's absent.
The player's absent, but the character is on this side of the gate. And so I asked the player's permission to have his character be played. And he said,
Ah.
okay.
Maybe the captain?
Captain's already playing the security officer.
Yep, I'm playing Gaddy.
Yeah.
Who else is left then?
There's American Morox
And me.
and you. Yeah. And I've also turned all of the Vulcans except Satek into a supporting character. So everybody will have somebody to play on this side of
Ah, neat.
One that's currently dealing with the lung disease.
Right. So Harrison's here, dealing. He just finished healing up to Saul's broken leg. So yeah, who wants to grab Erickson? Because
Well, I've already had some screen time if someone else wants him.
Osborne, do you want to take the engineer?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. So you should have control now.
Assume
Immediately
direct
after me
control.
healing her leg, the engineer is not too composed at the moment after hearing me break a Vulcan leg and reset it.
I can control Gade, not Erickson.
Oh, let me see what's wrong.
Actually, I can control everyone but Erickson.
I think the last thing that I said as Harrison was green-blooded hobgoblin after the Vulcan said fascinating.
Oh, why-
Can I have like even the vaguest of personalities to work with?
Okay, you should. Let me save changes. See if you can control it now.
Yes.
Describe his
Okay.
personality. Somebody else better with that.
Erickson is a very competent engineer. Look at his sheet. He really does live by the stick by your comrades and ideals. For instance, the Vulcan engineer Somek was leaving the caves to cut vines and bamboo equivalents to make a travois for Setek, who is suffering from advanced stages of Vulcan lung lock fever because of the heavy moisture content of the atmosphere.
Ugh.
And Erickson refused to let him go alone. Erickson's his big deal thus far has been to stick by his comrades and make sure that he's there to help keep people safe and do what he needs to do. So, if that gives you an idea.
Also seems like a fish out of water when he's not in engineering.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right. Got to keep moving.
All right. So Morox and Merrick, pick whatever Vulcan or Vulcans you want to play. So yeah, Somek and Erickson have just returned with the materials necessary to build a travois for Setek, who is starting to feel effects of the triox compound and the antibiotics and anti-inflammatories that Harrison gave him. So he's breathing a little bit easier, but there's still kind of like a very watery sound to it. He definitely will still need to be carried. To Saul's legs, Harrison has finished using the osteo regenerator after breaking it and resetting it. So she'll be up and about.
Where is Harrison?
It's a pretty big map. They're back over
I don't see the character.
over here.
We're in the main section of the caves. You went off to the entrance in order to get the materials to
Right.
make a backpack to carry the sick Vulcan.
Yep. Entrance is down lower right side of the map, and they're back up kind of the middle of things.
I see. No, I mean I see all of it. The only thing I don't see is I don't see a token for Harrison. But
No.
He's definitely there.
that's weird.
And my token just disappeared.
Yeah, I'm seeing what happens if I drag.
He's
drag
close.
over there. Do you see him now?
Nah, but it might take a few seconds to load for me. We'll see.
See the other two Vulcans that I'm next to.
Does everybody else see Harrison?
Yeah.
I see him. I see him and the two Vulcans.
Yeah.
That's weird. Okay. I'll take your word for it.
For referencing where I'll always be for this game, I'll always be like right behind the Vulcan that's carrying Setek.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it should be in your journal. I don't know what's going on.
I think we're missing Terrell though. Is she ID?
Oh, I guess I never dragged her back after because I spent some time working on the tokens.
Oh, I'll do it. There you
Okay.
go. Up.
Doesn't matter. All right. So, yeah, the two engineers very quickly construct a travois. You're able to get Satek on it. So what is the plan?
I suppose we're heading back in.
Okay.
We're going to be heading out, and we're not going to be splitting up at any point during this, so we're going to be moving rather slowly because we
Well-
have to carry Satek.
Yeah, I think the point to put them on there was so that we can move quicker.
Yeah,
but
we're
have
still not
less
going to be
people
moving
able to fight
as
us.
fast as if we weren't carrying them.
Right. So let us go to.
With those things out in the forest, anybody who has a free hand has a phaser in their hand.
So
That was another point for the backpack. So they're gonna have one more
So-
hand free.
And Satek, is he's kind of laid back at an angle, but he too. All the Vulcans have phase pistol. As you guys move out of the cave, very shortly after you've kind of the cave is in a slight rise, so you kind of have to muscle Satek down. And as you're moving back into the jungle, you hear and see a shuttlecraft of unknown design kind of rise up from the direction of the ruins where the portal was, and make a hard burn into, apparently heading into orbit.
Either our friends are leaving, or they've just dropped off a few more aliens to worry about.
I am going to move us. So you make your way through the jungle. Satek, you are slowed down a little bit, but it's not terrible bad. You managed to make it back to the ruins in about 45 minutes. And I'm going to place you guys on the map. You can readjust your positions as necessary. Everybody, you'll be kind of towards the upper left-hand corner. Rox is not here. Yeah. Okay, so have you found yourselves?
Actually, got placed right where I wanted to.
So Gaddy would probably be going first.
Okay. Give me a insight security. Difficulty 2.
I will use one of the momentums.
Very good.
Observation for a focus.
Definitely.
Oh, and this is an activation for her, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and give her cautious security.
Okay. And for this case, I'm not counting this against crew support. So
I will re-roll one.
very good. Okay. So you see, kind of crouched down and partially hidden by both some ancient ruins and some trees. One of what the Vulcans have told you is a Zinti, perched up there. I'm pinging it. I know the map is big.
Yep, I see it.
Okay. Looks like it is kind of crouched there. You see its head kind of slowly swiveling back and forth. You very easily recognize that as someone set on guard.
Yeah, probably an ambush too. So I'll give a signal for everyone to stop,
Okay.
and I'll like crouch down and try to get to cover, which probably may be here.
have
Or
Sinek
here.
carrying Sitek. Yep. So you're
So-
definitely in cover. You don't think you've been spotted yet.
And I will just motion that I see something and point in the direction.
Okay.
You know, like how you use your hands to point at your eyes, and then I'll point to where.
Right. All right. So anybody who wants to look, roll a Insight Security difficulty 1. And again, all of the Vulcans except Sitek are playable.
Oh, god damn it.
Person's main focus is on Tech at the moment, so he's not going
Yeah.
anywhere.
Fair enough. Okay, so there's 2 complications on the board.
Good going, guys. We're doing great.
I mean, they're
We're
technically
doing great. I'm back
successes.
here with the patient.
Yeah, I mean, there's successes. You definitely see the Zen. You have 5 momentum on the board. You do have enough momentum to squash those if you want.
Well, Prax knows how I play, and I always say leave the complications. But in this case, maybe squash one, take one.
Up to you guys.
Have the injured Vulcan, I'd say don't worry about at least one of them, but we have an injured Vulcan. We should probably squash them.
I'm definitely willing to squash at least one of them.
Well, who's in command here? Technically Erickson.
Or Harrison, they're both the same rank.
Yep.
Yeah, so
We will delegate to Harrison here.
oh geez. Okay.
Let's squash one of them and keep the rest in case we get into combat.
Like that was my thought. Like squash one of them so it's not as bad. But we might need it for combat.
Yeah, because what probably would have happened if we had kept both of them, it'd probably be like they see you and they get to go first in combat.
They saw you and they immediately kill Gade.
And they drop down from this tree.
Like,
Don't take any ideas, GM.
Okay.
Oh no.
uh-oh. We're in danger.
Oh, wow.
Take that, GM's beliefs.
Get owned.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Oh,
I maybe should not taught him like that.
the woman's gone
Okay.
blind by looking into the sun.
So that was going to be an opposed roll, but you know.
We just see a Kazinti like come flying out of a tree and into the
Right.
ravine.
So the
Just
Zinti
will hold
over
us.
here, which you had not spotted until this point, you see trying to sneakily kind of jump down and start trying to use the ruins as cover. But you watch him move from where he is up here to like kind of crouching under this tree over here. He's definitely seen you, but you definitely have seen him.
How far are they?
Yeah, what's the range here?
You're definitely looking at extreme for phase pistol.
Ouch.
Hmm. Well, we're out in the open. I say we all get into cover.
I am behind this rock.
Yeah, there's all sorts of rubble and stuff.
But I could move. So is this a wall? Like a broken wall that like a half wall?
Yeah, and with a little kind of trench down here.
I'm struggling to understand the topography of this map.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird, but yeah, you
Probably
guys,
don't want to go into the trench because then
you guys
the
like
one above
this
us will have high ground.
staircase leads up. It was leading up to whatever this structure used to be,
It's leading up.
and so you guys are kind of crouched down up here, looking over.
Oh,
This
so like this is the top of the ruin then, and then it's
Well, you're a
it's
little bit
trench.
higher than that. You're like on,
MC.
leading up this, so this is like below you. If you went back down and then back up this way, you'd be on that level. It's on the same level as the ground that's lit up.
MC Escher ass battle map.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
because I don't think we would have been trapped up here, so we probably would have went this way.
yeah, the Zenti, you know, I took it as Gade was scouting ahead, and so she was kind of creeping up to get a vantage point.
Oh, that works.
Which let her
So
see
so
the
so if this
Zenti, just about
okay,
on
so
her level. Yeah.
yeah, so if this is above everything, I will just get in the cover behind this piece,
Uh-huh.
and I will try to signal the rest of the team to maybe take cover behind this wall to create a firing line.
Okay.
Because then I could cover from the sniper point. You guys can stay here with the wounded. Take cover the wounded here.
Are we able to do that before combat officially kicks in?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. It doesn't look like this one has seen you. It's the other one that apparently, or if this one has been alerted to your presence, he's not letting you in on it.
Hmm.
And be aware that this one is appears to be moving around on these higher levels rather than the low ground out here.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So if you take the wounded to tuck into this corner, it should be pretty defensible. Like you're not going to get swept from
Right.
behind, so to speak.
Right.
And then you
Yeah,
can create a
if you
firing
get
line
down in
here
there
in
and
case
crouch
more
down,
come from here.
you're under total cover.
Yep.
Yeah.
We could just lay Zatek against the wall, and
Right.
he'd be completely out of fire,
Right.
and that would clear up the other Vulcan to help more.
And we'd be in.
And
Yeah,
you'd be
so-
what? Sorry, you cut out, Grennan.
And we'd be in cover, so we'd get a little cover dice.
Right. So yeah, move your people where you want them to be.
Gotti will stay up here, kind of overwatching.
Okay. Now everybody moving down in there needs to give me a fitness security. Make it difficulty 1.
I'll just roll that raw.
Okay. Erickson gets down there. Terrell gets down there. Harrison gets down there, but
Trip on a rock on the way down. I want Zatek near me so that I can keep an eye on him.
okay. So Somek, whoever's taking Somek will need to make that roll at difficulty 2 because you're dealing with Satek.
That might be a good place to spend a momentum.
So again, one of you guys can roll for Somek.
I'll roll for him.
So you're at difficulty 2 because you're also carrying Satek.
Survival for focus?
Sure. I'll let it.
He only has a security of 2, but whatever. I'll spend a momentum.
Okay. back.
Glides into place.
Sneaky Vulcan.
Just
So you're gonna
gracefully with this Vulcan strapped to his back.
I
Harrison
cannot
was
move.
recovering from tripping, and then there's just two Vulcans behind him. Like, what the?
And is there cover over here?
Ping it again. Yeah, there's like this. This is like a wall, and this here's part was an interior chamber at some point. So yeah, you've got cover there.
The Saul's gonna move over here to kind of protect the flank.
Hmm.
Sounds good.
Oh, military tactic like.
Ooh,
She has a
this is
security of
elite.
3 for a scientist,
It's
which
only
is really
logical for a
surprising.
Vulcan to want to cover any
You, did,
vulnerable areas.
you know what's surprising? Gaddy had a control of 8 before she was upgraded last week.
I didn't make her.
Like I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm going to shoot my face. Oh, a 12. I guess we'll charge.
So phase pistols can charge then.
No, she
No,
meant, like literally.
no, I meant like literally charge during security. Fisty.
Punch in the face.
Punch the thing.
Gotcha.
Where she got the backhand of a lifetime.
Yeah,
basically.
how well did that end for her?
Not well.
How well did it end for Harrison?
Uh-oh. The GM rolled well.
Yeah, but it's presence. What are they going to do? Talk us to death?
They're gonna notice
They're
you.
gonna appear behind Gate and just take her away.
Or the bush is going to start talking cat.
Why are the bushes talking like cats?
I don't think it works that way.
There's the bush.
So the Zen suddenly and very quickly moves to here. He's now in call that medium range.
Of who?
Medium range of this area.
So yeah, everybody that's right here.
And this one, he's up here, kind of crouched behind this boulder. Still in extreme range. So, not quite in combat yet. So, but at this point, we're going to start, and you guys get to go first.
So this one here would be in long range for me.
For Gade, yes.
Clear. Does this group know that Kazin are actively hostile?
Yes, the Vulcans told you when you first encountered them, because you guys were trying to use stun, and then Terrell just flat out shot one with a lethal phaser burst. It didn't kill him. And they explained to you that the Zinti are highly resistant to stun, or resistant to stun.
At that point, Harrison would have ordered them to be set to kill.
Okay. First off, I didn't know where we stood on that, and I didn't know where we stood on the matter of shoot first, ask questions later.
You have already been attacked by these Zinti.
Yeah.
Oh.
These things went straight to kill with us. They knocked down
Okay.
Gate and almost
they-
knocked
now-
out Harrison.
Now, they did strike you non-lethally for whatever reason. But yeah,
They attacked us first, so it's like, so if
All bets are
the
off.
Vulcan's new stun doesn't work, then it was straight to kill.
All right, so I think I'll have Gaddy go first, and I'm actually going to prepare a task for her. She's going to prepare in case this gets to medium range for me, and then I will shoot it.
Okay. So how does that work mechanically?
So prepare reads the character prepares for or spends time setting up a task. Some tasks require a minor action to be taken before the task can be. It's basically I'm just preparing to shoot if they get into medium range.
Okay, so I'm going to treat that as like you're basically on hold,
Yeah,
so that when the
Yeah, that's how
Zenties
that
get into
works.
that, you get to break into the combat order and
Yes,
pew pew. Okay. So do you guys want to maintain the momentum, or maintain the initiative, or pass it back to them?
Does anyone have? No, no one has quick to action. I don't think.
Well, that's part of the reason why if we pass it to them, it would be easier for all of us to try to get shots on it.
Hmm.
If we
Okay.
let them go.
Yeah. So pass the turn to them.
Okay. Okay, so this one is going to move around to here. This one.
Oh boy.
This one kind of drops almost to all fours and is attempting to try and sneak, but fails. So you see it move kind of through these trees to there, which is definitely in medium range to Gade.
Then I will take my prepared action.
Okie dokie.
And yeah, I will take the Vulcan's advice, and it will be on to kill.
All right. So roll your. It's
And I will use a momentum to turn on my cautious.
okay.
And reroll one. Excellent.
Say, hit roll your phaser face pistol damage. Ooh. I'm counting.
6.
That would be 6. And because it was lethal, I do believe you get a threat.
Wish the threat was a little bit easier to deal out instead of having to click 6 times. Yeah, so quick phaser blast, and that one goes down.
And then I will yell to them, "You're clear."
All right. So now it passes back to you because that was the Zenti's turn.
I was gonna say I might want Erickson to press his advance to here.
Jump the trench.
Possibly.
How
or
far
just,
down is that drop?
Yeah, how deep is that trench?
And I would imagine the
inside
subsequent
this
climb
wall, you're on the same level as that. This is like the exterior wall of whatever series of small rooms that archaeologists love that you're in. So yeah, this is on the same level as this. So that's
How
gonna be
high
down
is
below.
the what's left of the wall? Is it chest high or is it around
Yeah,
waist
it's
high?
about chest high. In some places, it drops down a little lower. You can definitely get over this way and come back up around here, or you can go back this way and around. To get out here, you're going to have to clamber over,
The
chest high
wall.
wall.
Mm.
Yeah,
The easiest way is to go through the trees and come
Yeah.
up to where the cave is.
yeah, to kind of go up here, and then you'll get back here and up this slope to where the cave is.
I would say that the injured and the doctors head toward the cave. Potentially with Erickson
Mhm.
for some cover. And then us two will try to hold this other one at bay. Just in case there's any inside the cave, of course.
And Erickson will be along as backup muscle in case they have someone hidden.
Well, did your
I'm
commander
gonna,
say there were?
I'm gonna
more
have
than-
Samek pick up the tech.
Okay.
We're gonna move over. We're gonna move up to the trees and then come around.
Okay. So yeah, move Somek and Harrison move to where you want to be, and I'll drag Satek after you. Sure, on the right thing.
Through the trees.
Okay.
All right, back. Right. Oh man, I forgot my ambiance.
But wait, isn't the way that this thing is supposed? I forget. In combat, I mean, it's not that the enemies get an equal number of turns to the player, right? Not on ground combat, or do they?
No.
They do not.
No.
So technically, we all get turns until they
Yep.
can go again.
It's you go, I go,
Yeah.
and that's
Sorry
everyone
about that.
goes.
So yeah, all of you guys, except Gade, can have an action.
Okay, so I'll join you up there.
Erickson as well.
Alright. You want to keep the initiative, or
So Saul's going to prepare and wait for
okay?
that one to get into medium range.
Catches
Fuck
sight
is
of,
that?
it catches sight of you and leaps down, starting to make its way towards where you're fleeing through the bush.
Is the Saul able to get a shot off?
Yeah, but because of the angle and that he's lower, he's gonna have some cover dice.
Okay. What is the difficulty?
Difficulties 2.
All I can think of is what's it?
Are you using lethal force?
I have a question for you, real quick, GM. Are some of the like rocks, or at least sort of like almost, if you would shoot them, they would kind of explode into like a fine powder, creating like a dust cover? Like I'm thinking I may just create an advantage. Um,
Yeah, but
for
didn't you specifically say you were going to shoot at it
I was
when you prepared
preparing.
the action?
Yeah,
So, what are you doing?
To go through the frame of mind that the Vulcans have been on this planet for who knows how long and been dealing with these things.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to create an advantage of you use your phaser to uh, blast some of the crumbling rock and masonry and create kind of a temporary dust, obscurement kind of thing for the group moving through the trees, then I'll let you do that.
yeah, I'll do that. I mean, essentially, like the prepared minor action is like you can do any action, you're just waiting for something to trigger, them to react.
Right. It's kind of like it's going on hold.
Yeah, I will do that. So it's, I guess, difficulty 2.
All right. So there is a.
Oh, sorry, Blackwell. It was actually called ready. What I was talking about with the cat.
Okay. Fair enough.
Sorry, it was not prepared. It wasn't ready.
So
Yeah, but it's functionally like prepare in D&D.
roughly, there's kind of a cloud of dust and debris right there to
Oh, I need to roll first.
Oh yeah.
I didn't roll. Yeah, she's get that advantage. Do you take survival for a focus for this?
I don't think so in this case.
Minor action to aim.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a momentum. Rerolling that complication because of aim.
Okay. So yeah, you vaporize a chunk of rock and masonry, and there's kind of a cloud now of debris where I drew it. The Zen seems frustrated.
Did it just growl?
Yeah.
Don't growl at me.
It is going to keep the initiative and take a shot at Gade since you talked to it. Okay. It's going to buy an extra die. Oops, got to roll 3. Come on, roll 20. There it goes. So roll 2 challenge dice for cover.
Are you calling this partial or full cover?
Partial for 2.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage first.
Okay.
Ooh,
Ouch. Vicious.
That's not right.
hope you get at least 2 with that.
That should be
It should be a lot more. So
as well, right?
yeah, it should add in security. You might just have to re-enter the number.
So that should be that plus security. Man, yeah. I've been having trouble with sheets and weapons lately.
Oh,
so
what's the security score?
4.
4.
Oh,
So I'm just going to I'm just going to take those 2 rolls.
Disruptor pistol is 4 dice.
No, it's 3 plus a security of 4. So it should be 7. Yeah. So I'll just
Yeah.
roll. Let me roll 3. I'll take the first roll of 4 plus this 3. So
So
that's
it
8.
should be 8. Yep.
Now roll your challenge dice.
3. So it would be 5.
Right.
That's enough to cause an injury.
But she will avoid.
Using threat.
Yeah.
Okay. That's nice. I was getting a little low. All right. So yeah, the crack of the disruptor pistol vaporizes at the top of the stone and then right into Gade's shoulder, but she doesn't go down. So it turns, goes back to you guys.
Well, Gaddy wants revenge now.
Okie dokie.
I will spend the momentum, get the 3rd dice. I am going to aim,
Okay.
and you could have your threat for lethal.
Thank you very much.
Do I want to give you more threat for a 4th? Yeah, take 2 more threat. There, dear GM. I will re-roll the complication first
Okay.
with cautious. Then I'll re-roll the other 0 with my aim.
Okay. So
There
it's
we
like
go.
2 momentum gain. Roll your damage.
Another 6.
Give him light cover because of your angle. No joy there. And so Gade gets sweet, sweet revenge. And he goes down.
And I will yell over to the Vulcan here. Fall back.
Okay. So you're out of combat now. I'm assuming everybody's just kind of heading over to the portal
Cave
room.
entrance.
Yeah. There's inside that is like another room where the portal is. I do not have a map for that, so you guys can just do that. Oh, except for him. You probably don't want him around.
I noticed that Gade's been hurt.
Yes. She is injured.
I'm going to tend to their injuries.
Well, I mean, she's not injured.
But
Tend to the
it's gonna take some
disruptor blast to her shoulder.
'Tis a flesh wound, Doc.
It may be the case, but doctor's prerogative.
So that's going to be control medicine difficulty 2 to heal that injury. Since, however, you're not in sick bay, I'm going to up the complication range to 2. And yes, I know for some weird reason the rules say you're not supposed to be able to heal people on the planet, but Bones was always able to do it, so.
There is a talent for that.
There is, probably.
It's I
That
forget what it is.
It's miracle worker, not a doctor.
Blackwell has it. It's you basically
There is a
you spin the
amazing
momentum,
principle.
you get the equivalent amount of stress equal to the healer's medical score. Is that the one you're thinking of, Brax?
I forget
There's
who
a-
said it, but
There's a couple of them.
Okay.
I forget
Yeah,
who
sure,
said it. I think it might have been
But,
someone in the. I think it might have been someone in the
I'm going to spend
Hadfield.
a momentum for another die.
Okay.
Since this isn't an emergent situation, I don't have any focus that would apply.
Okay. All right. So you gain a momentum, and you use the dermal regenerator and heal Gade right up. Gade, your stress goes away.
Good as new, Ensign. And he slaps you on the shoulder.
Oh God.
Specifically the one that he just healed.
I'll read up on those talents and see if I still want to keep the being able to heal in the field. But for today.
Well, if I
I
remember,
forget who
stress
said it, but
just
when
heals between scenes.
when
Yeah,
when
it does.
someone mentioned miracle worker being a miracle worker, someone in one of the other games I think I ran for, someone said, "I'm a miracle worker. I'm not God."
Oh yeah, that was oh man, I was there for that game. I think that I forget. Oh, it was on the Argo,
Oh, that's right. I'm a miracle worker. I'm not God.
right? And Haggard's response was to work on his apotheosis. So okay, you are in front of the portal on this side of the planet, which you see has been activated. The portable power supply Ericsson that you hooked. Not Ericsson, Nolan that you hooked up to the. Oh, it is Ericsson. Sorry, Ericsson and Harrison. Ericsson that you hooked up to the portal on this side has been activated and is feeding power to the portal, which is about every 20 seconds flipping, changing destination marks. Um, there are only about four you're seeing here, one of which appears to be the inside of some kind of ship with more of the Zinti on it.
Any sign of where of the place we're supposed to be going?
Yes, actually, that's right. They switched it to receive. So yeah, and there's actually five places. One of which is um, the outpost that you came from.
All right. As soon as it loops back around to the outpost, everyone move.
Wait, Satek says. We cannot let this technology fall into the hands of the Zinti. Such a species would only use it for conquest.
Erickson, can you fix something in a way that once we're through, you can hit a button and it will destroy this technology?
I might be able to set it up on an overload timer.
Do it. Like the tech said, this technology is far too dangerous for such a volatile species to have.
Oh, am I breaking up?
So yeah,
But yeah,
Yeah. It's one of those things. My net connection is terrible, and if someone else decides that they want to use it as well, it gets worse.
so what are
Anyway,
you guys doing?
I'm trying to set something up so that I'm trying to set up a timer so that a minute after we go through, the whole thing blows.
Okay, so what are you using to make it blow?
The portable power thing that's currently hooked
Okay,
up to it.
that should
That
do it
sounds
in your
safe.
estimation.
Huh?
So
it's fine.
give me, because they're really not designed to be used in this fashion. Give me control engineering difficulty 4, complication range 3.
Difficulty 4, you say?
Yes, I did.
Let's see. Which of the Vulcan tests of stuff? Control engineering.
Hang on. So first things first, I am going to spend the value function over form any day.
Okay, what's your reasoning behind that particular value?
You said that I'm trying to make this thing do a function that it wasn't exactly designed to.
Okay.
I don't
Alright.
care that this thing is the form of a electrical power conduit. I want this thing to blow up.
Okay, sure.
And then I'm giving you 2 threat to buy a 3rd die. Would reverse engineering or electroplasma power systems work?
I don't think in this case, and I'm actually going to spend threat to raise it to difficulty 5.
You're doing this to me. Okay. You said control engineering.
Right.
Got it. Here we go.
Terrell's
Oh.
good enough for helping.
Oh, I didn't raise the complication range, but it doesn't matter. I rolled 3 successes anyway.
It
Okay.
was complication range 3, wasn't it?
Yeah, I forgot to set it, but it doesn't matter. I rolled.
Okay. So it looks like you gain 1 momentum with Terrell's assistance. And you all step through. To the outpost.
Oop.
And
Oh well, that's good.
shortly after you arrive, there is this sudden, I mean, just almost, not even a quarter of a second kind of bright light, and then the portal on, and then oh wait, you can't see anything from this side. Never mind. So yeah, you're back on the
Schrodinger's demolition.
which suddenly is rocked by some sort of seismic event. Everybody give me fitness security difficulty 1.
Oh god, everyone. That's a lot of everyone.
Don't worry about the ones. Just all the player characters give me fitness security.
So,
That's Eric.
I'm gonna go ahead and spend a momentum here to try to generate more with cautious, so that you guys.
Did you say
Yes.
fitness security?
Yeah. You're spending
Okay,
a momentum to do what? Oh, to generate more with caution. I see. Okay.
I will also do that.
Yep.
Because I have cautious security.
Okay. So 1 momentum gained.
I'm re-rolling that complication.
Actually, 2 momentum gained. Looks like 5. So there's no, it's you got 6 with 4, no, with 3 float.
What's the difficulty?
Could I like
1.
spend 2 of that momentum that's floating to like stabilize someone else so they don't even have to make the roll?
Go for
Sure.
Yeah, it would only be like one other person.
Sure.
So like I'll grab onto Gade and stabilize her.
Okay.
Gade does not need it.
Oh, that's right, because Gade already did it.
Yeah, who didn't?
Harrison hasn't rolled yet.
I rolled.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
I'll grab onto Erickson.
Okay. So Erickson's already rolled. Harrison's already rolled.
No, well, Erickson was me.
He didn't switch
Oh.
back to himself.
Oh, right.
I
Okay,
forgot
yeah.
to switch that off.
So yeah, you grab Erickson so he doesn't stagger. I'll do one roll for the standing Vulcans.
And feel free to spend any momentum.
I'll spend a float for a third die. Leave you guys with
Let's see.
6. Whoa.
Ooh.
Hot damn. That's 3 solid 2s.
Wow.
Vulcans don't even shake.
Right. Vulcans are like,
The Vulcans are looking at us like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, we're all doing like the shade camera shimmy, and they're
Yeah.
just like standing there.
Terrell looks to Tassal and says, fascinating. It appears the seismic activity of the planet is increasing for some reason. Indeed.
It's very fascinating. Is that everyone?
Let's leave, Commander. I don't think this outpost will hold up very much longer under these conditions. And by God, is it good to see a friendly alien face? And he claps Morox on the shoulder.
Ooh.
Oh. All right, well, Merrick, set to transmit again. We're leaving.
And Osborne goes over to Harrison and says,
Question: did either of you go to get Franks?
that's what I was about to say. Doctor, I'm going to need you to come with me. We have an injured pilot that needs some medical attention.
Yeah, Chief.
All right, everyone, this way. And, he motions for everyone to follow after him.
Okay.
And
Getting
going to
ready
try
to...
leading everyone out of here.
Okay. Anybody want to do anything else in the outpost before you leave?
I will take some bits of the broken warp gate from earlier.
You'll take
Later
a bit of what?
study
Oh,
of the yeah.
okay. Sure. You can take a chunk of that. Anything else?
I've got the scans we're going to need. I'll call the captain to know what's going on.
So did you hail?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, Morgus to Aurora.
Go ahead, Commander.
AT's back through, heading back to the shuttle pods.
Excellent. Did you retrieve the Vulcans?
Yes. It looks like this place is coming apart.
All right, very well. Head back to the shuttles and get back up here as quickly as.
Osborne's going to take out his communicator, and as he's walking, he says, our shuttle pod was slightly damaged in the entry. We might need you to meet us halfway.
We will be standing by. This ship has tractor beams, right?
Has tractor beams, and it still has grapples.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the tractor beams, it's I think Vulcan technology, which didn't integrate so well, so it actually costs power to use.
I see. Oh, that's
So
cool.
Yeah, it's in those one of the setting documents I pinned to the top of the channel. The shields are also a little weird too, so it still has a polarized hull plating.
We basically just
will
bolted
be-
on every bit of new tech we could to a
Yep, basically.
X class.
That's neat.
We will be standing by with the tractor beam. Will give us an opportunity to test them out.
Actually, is the portal still cycling now? We've got it back on transmit.
No, it was set to receive.
The commander ordered me to. They came through to put it back on transmit.
Oh, okay. Very well.
Hence why the push is a button.
Okay. So, yes, it's still cycling, but the jungle planet is not among the destinations.
Is the bridge?
Yes.
Let's try the stone throwing again, just to double check it's safe.
Chuck a rock at the captain again. Okay.
So yes, yeah, Captain, on the bridge, a small rock comes clattering out from the corridor leading to your ready room, apparently.
Are you throwing things at me again, Commander?
Just thinking, it might lower the weight for shuttle pods to make escape.
Satek says, my recorder. Tell me, Commander Erickson, would you mind picking that up for me? It has my notes and logs in it. It is the recorder that was under the console earlier that got kicked to the middle of the room. So what are you guys doing?
Well, if I quickly test it to get back to the bridge, then we can send the wounded through.
You really don't. Well, Satek is wounded. So do you want Somek and Satek to step through into the bridge? Is that what you're saying?
I think I'll go first, then they come after me.
Okay. Are you having everyone come through, or?
Only some.
Okay. Tell me who.
Well, I'll go first to test it.
Okay.
I will have Sumika Satek go through. There.
Yes,
wounded
so
ones,
you guys
yeah.
step out right onto the bridge. Captain, suddenly Commander Morox and a Vulcan, a younger Vulcan pulling a older, apparently sick Vulcan on a Travois appears on the bridge, appearing to have to just step right out of that corridor, leading to your ready room.
With the injured one, correct?
Yeah, that's the one that's still on the Travois.
Bridge to sick bay. We need a medical team up to the bridge immediately. And I will assist the Vulcans getting into the ship.
Okay. Captain, the elder Vulcan says, "Please excuse our unorthodox method of boarding your ship. Permission to come aboard."
Permission granted. Just take it easy. We'll get the medical staff here to treat your.
All right. So back on the outpost, what's up? What are you doing?
I'm being ushered off to an injured crewman.
Yeah, I know I am not the most the highest ranked person here, but as the current leader of security on this away mission, I am telling everyone to GTFO.
Okay. So you will still need both shuttles. You don't have. There are too many of you for one.
I'm bringing the doctor with me to shuttle pod 2 because I need him for the pilot to take a look at him. If anyone else wants to come to shuttle pod 2, maybe the 2 scientists or I don't know.
Should be noted that I think Harrison was the pilot for the other shuttle, the doctor. So I mean, and
I can technically fly. Just say.
Oh, what's your con?
2.
It's true. Yeah, that's not you.
Erickson.
And be aware that Frank's.
Oh.
I mean, Frank's is not. I mean, Frank's is fine. He can operate. He's not. You know, he's still got 5 stress. Actually, didn't the scene change?
Yeah.
So he's fine. His stress went away.
Okay.
Still sleeping.
Yeah. I mean,
he just has a nice concussion. It's
yeah,
fine.
he's banged up and he's going to need reconstructive surgery on his nose and front teeth. But you know.
Well, then maybe. Because what is Harrison's con?
3, I think.
Yeah.
Because actually, I just looked at it. Yeah, we could send Erickson to the to one shuttle because he has a troll con.
He has a what?
15 for control.
Wow, that's pretty good. So okay, who's flying shuttle pod 1, the undamaged?
Probably Erickson.
Okay, so daring con difficulty 2. I'm not going to switch over to the shuttle map again.
Oof. I didn't realize it's daring con. Okay.
Daring con difficulty 2, again, stormy stuff. So
okay,
you do have 6 momentum.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna spend a momentum
Okay. Okay. You
And the
pull it up
shuttle?
through the storms and leave the planet's atmosphere. All right. And whoever's piloting Shuttle 2, it's going to be Daring Con, difficulty
Hey.
3, complication range 3.
Franks is up and able to function. He's going to do it.
Yeah,
Concussion be damned.
because you are flying pretty much sensor blind. You're flying. So,
Shuttlecraft for
difficulty-
focus.
yep,
Yeah.
difficulty 3, complication range 3.
Threat and momentum for 4.
Okay. So, how much of each are you giving me?
You could just
Two
spend 3
momentum.
momentum.
Sorry, what?
I want to give him some threat because it's fun.
So, how many threat are you giving me?
Just the one to get an extra die.
Okay. And how many momentum are you spending?
To
2.
just to get an extra die, or 1, however you spend that.
It's
Always
one
just
threat, 2 momentum.
Okay.
There's a complication.
And what about the shuttle?
Yep. Shuttle assist with engines con.
Shuttle pod 1.
Shuttle pod 1 is making it up fine. It's going to be able to land in the landing.
So actually, there was difficult. What was the difficulty of that check?
Difficulty was 3, complication range 3.
Okay, so we generated momentum. We can spend that and 1 more to quash the complication.
So despite a rocky start, you do manage to get the shuttle up and out of the atmosphere safely. Let us go back to the bridge. You up here. Morox is actually back on the bridge. Back hallways for the who aren't playing right now. And we'll put Kirby back on security. All right, so Shuttlecraft 2 is approaching. Yeah, it's definitely he's got basically no sensors, so you're going to need to do the old school, grab it with a grappler or a tractor beam it in. Either way.
Oh, we're using the new toy.
Okay.
We're using the shiny new toy. Why would we use the old busted toy?
The grappler will be on standby, but we're using the new toy.
We use the shiny new toy. Why use the old and reliable toy? Why use the
Our
vintage
captain
toy?
has proven that he wants to go for Flash.
I have to see what the ship can do.
Oh god.
Fair enough.
Remember, your chief medical officer is on that ship.
Oh, you're so dead.
It either breaks or it doesn't.
Okay, so using the power beam has a cost of 1, and the complication range for the tractor beam task is increased by 1. Since the shuttle is flying kind of erratically, and I dislike leaving threat on the table, I'm going to up that complication range. Whoops, sorry, doctor. To 2. So that will be control security. It's the normal tractor beam roll 2 or 1.
2, just like firing weapons.
Yep. Control security difficulty 2. Complication range 2.
Ensign Ellison, ready the tractor beam. Bring them in nice and easy. Stand by with the grappler in case this doesn't work.
All right. Whoever wants to play Ellison.
I think I played him last.
I'll give him something new.
Uh,
Remember, using any of these guys except the Vulcans that have been used before, you can give them something.
Maybe give him a focus in something.
Or
Well, he
Expedient.
has targeting systems, so I think
Sorry.
that would apply. That's-
What is the discipline we're rolling? Because we gotta give him a bold in that one.
security.
We could give him bold security.
What does the ship assist with? Structure security, I believe.
That sounds right. Does that sound right to you, Prax?
It is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
We are rolling a big 9 on this one, boys.
Difficulty 2, comp range 2.
I think the consensus is give him bold security, so that threat will give him a reroll.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you're getting a threat for an extra die, and what was the complication range?
2. And that'll apply to the ship as
Rolling.
well.
Yep, ship's
Or
already
like
done.
control or daring.
Control. Nicely done. Gain of momentum. No whammies. Nicely done.
It rolled a 10.
So the shuttle, the ship has to maneuver just a little bit, but you latch onto the shuttle and bring it up through one of the 2 remaining hatches in the ventral hull, just like in the old days of the NX, and secure it in the hangar bay. Both shuttles the one shuttle that's still damaged is easily repairable by the engineering team. Let me, since Morox is on the bridge, let me send you something really quickly.
Went too soon. Looks like the outpost power core is about to detonate. We do a massive power surge.
Is everybody
as-
aboard?
Yes, everyone is
Yes.
aboard.
Yep.
Helm, take us out of orbit.
Aye, Captain. And she smoothly moves the ship out of orbit. On the view screen, as the ship moves away, you see a sudden bright white flash, and then the kind of terrifying blue-white dome of a massive explosion centered on where the outpost was, and it's is truly an enormous catastrophic level energy release.
Such a shame we weren't able to study that in further detail.
Yes. Although, if it was a hub of a network, it may not be necessarily unique. Still, though, it was quite intriguing.
Oh, and Captain, your scans of the planet while the away team was going didn't reveal any signs of the Tenor. There were, however, signs in orbit of now fading massive gamma radiation burst of the type probably associated with a catastrophic matter antimatter reaction. So it appears that the Tenor's containment fields failed. But also from scanning the surface, you were able to detect that um, the planet at some point in the distant past suffered a massive and quite deliberate planetary bombardment, which seems to have all but wiped out the ancient cities
Whatever,
that were below.
yep,
Yeah, except for
whatever
the outposts.
civilization was living.
So
Cool. So I will probably go talk to the Vulcan leader.
okay,
Um, so if you wanted to roleplay that, I am okay with that.
sure. Let me take us to the sick bay. Buddy. Set up.
And I will ask the commander to come along as well.
Sure. There we go.
All right. Yes, Satek is here. Dr. Harrison, you've basically rigged up the equivalent of an oxygen tent around his bed. Fundamentally, you know, the antibiotics and anti-inflammatories will do it. And the other key is, you know, a heavily oxygenated atmosphere that's also kept very, very dry. So you've managed to set that up with, you know, inside of an oxygen tent there. These guys out of the way.
How are our guests, Doc?
And I would recommend keeping any questions for Satek brief. He's still recovering from the lung disease that he contracted on the planet.
Very good, doctor. I just have a couple questions for him. How are you feeling?
Captain, much better, thank you. Thanks to the ministrations of your physician here.
If there's anything you need, just let us know, and I'm sure we can arrange to get it for you.
I thank you. But now that I am more of myself, I will be able to enter the healing trance, help the doctor with his ministrations. But tell me, Captain, were there any survivors from the Tenor?
That's why I'm actually here. I wanted to ask you what happened to your ship. We were unable to locate it. The only thing we were able to locate was a matter antimatter explosion in orbit. Can I assume that was your ship?
It is logical to suppose so, Captain. My team and I were the planet's surface. We have been working in shifts. The former team had just taken a shuttlecraft back to the Tenor, and shortly thereafter, there was a bright flash in the sky that logically could only be the result of a uncontrolled matter-antimatter reaction. Our communicators had earlier ceased to be able to contact the ship, and for several days we had been suffering aboard ship a series of inexplicable malfunctions of one type or another. Unfortunately, part of the team that had just returned to the ship contained our linguist, and my team and I were unable to decipher the language of the control center. Fortunately, however, Terrell was able to theorize the purpose of the annulus, and we were able to use our thermal units to provide it enough power for us to make a step into a different world. It was a risk, however, it was a logical one. I calculated that even with our thermal units, we would not be able to avoid terminal hypothermia long enough for rescue to reach us from the Federation. It appears, despite the risks and the trouble we have caused ourselves and your crew, that the decision was correct.
Is there any possibility any members of your crew might have been able to escape from the ship before it exploded? Possibly in escape pods or shuttles?
Captain, there are always possibilities. However, I believe the destruction of the Tenor was sudden and completely unexpected. I do not think that there would have been any time for any of the crew or the archaeological team to reach the escape pods. And Captain, your scans have not picked up any signs of escape pods either on the planet or in the system.
Yep, just exploring all options.
Right.
Commander, let us remain in the system and do a thorough search of all the planets and moons in the system, just in case any Vulcans were able to get off that. Even if we're just recovering bodies at this point.
Of course, Captain. Leave no stone unturned, eh?
My thoughts exactly, Commander.
Okay, now out of character, we've still got a little over an hour and 15 minutes of playtime. I'm ready to just go ahead and start the next adventure, or we can. We've kind of reached the end of this one. If you want to call it quits here, and I'll leave that up to you.
I mean, I'm good to keep going.
Here you
But-
going for a while longer.
I'm probably okay for a bit more.
All right,
If I just pop for a couple of seconds.
sure. Yeah, let's take everybody take a little bio break, grab a drink or something, and then we'll crank back up with the next episode.
Cool.
All right.
Commercial break.
Yeah. Get a drink, pet your dog, walk your cat.
Exactly. Hey, Chance.
Hey GM, real quick before we move on, was
Yeah.
Nomi able to get at least a sample of the language that was translated?
Yeah, she's got a pretty decent database of the Iconian language, and you discovered that was who these people called themselves.
All right, I'm back.
I think we are just waiting on Grinnin.
What? Since back to standing on the bridge.
All right. So about 3 days have passed, during which you've made a thorough sweep and scan of the system. No life pods were discovered. You've also reported into Starfleet Command. And Captain, you are in your ready room. Some rich ambiance.
Commander, we're receiving an incoming hail for the captain.
Send it to the ready room.
And I'll walk over to the comms pad. Go ahead, Commander.
See your hair. Where's it from?
Starfleet Command.
Receive hail from Starfleet Command, Captain. For you.
Go ahead and route it to my ready room, please.
And I think I actually have a sound effect for Enterprise era screen. I'll be dang. So your little desk screen opens, and on it is Admiral Jonathan R. Johan, how goes
Admiral.
the sweep of the system?
Well, we were able to locate a few survivors from the Vulcan ship. However, we were only able to rescue 4 of them. Fortunately, we were unable to locate the rest of the crew.
Yes, I've read your report, and Dr. Satek his recovery is still going well.
Yes, it is, Captain or Admiral.
He kind of chuckles and goes, "I make the same mistake some days." So I have your marching orders for you. You're to take the Aurora to the Memory Alpha site. There you will transfer Satek and his team aboard to the Vulcan Science Academy ship Strek, and you will take on Federation Ambassador Tarai and her party. The people of 53 Aquarii have asked the Federation to mediate in their system-wide civil war, and Ambassador Tarai has been on her way, but the Aurora is a faster ship. You're to proceed to the system and place yourselves and your ship at the ambassador's disposal until you are relieved by the USS Carolina, which will probably arrive about 2 weeks after you do in the system.
Understood, Admiral.
The ambassador will brief you with all the information you need beyond what's in the database. Johan, I don't have to tell you how important this is. This is the first time a non-Federation member world has asked us to mediate in a conflict. A lot is riding on these negotiations. If we can begin to establish the Federation's reputation as peacemakers and peace brokers beyond our borders, it could be a very powerful thing, and hopefully a way to lead to greater and greater stabilization in the quadrant. I know ambassadors can be difficult and Vulcans can sometimes be difficult, but this is a very important negotiation.
Don't worry, Admiral. The Aurora will do what it can to ensure that peace is achieved.
I know you will. Good luck. Archer out.
And I will step out onto the bridge.
Okay.
Captain on the bridge.
Helm, take us to the Memory Alpha site. Seems we have new orders, Commander.
Where are we off to then?
Head to Memory Alpha and pick up a Federation ambassador. And we are to facilitate the peace talks. I did not catch the planet's name.
You're going to the 53 Aquarii system.
And we're to facilitate peace talks on the 53 Aquarii system.
Course laid in, sir. Ready to go to warp on your command.
Go ahead, Ensign.
So nothing too dangerous then.
Should be pretty simple mission, Commander. We're going to be glorified taxi cabs.
Or by taxi cabs in a war zone.
I was about to say, Captain, accompanying an ambassador to peace talks is not a matter to be taken lightly.
I did not mean anything by it. Of course, security will be a top priority, and I'm sure you will be up to the.
Sir,
The ambassador will be briefing us further when she comes aboard. So she can tell us what we can expect and what we need to prepare for. We are to give the ambassador everything that she asks to help us facilitate these talks. It is a she, correct?
Yes, correct. Ambassador Tarai.
I'll start I'll start organizing.
Domo arigato, Mr. Grennan.
Hopefully, Captain, she doesn't ask us to shake our ship apart again. And he gives you a very stern look on that.
So you're about a week away from the Memory Alpha site at warp 65. 7.31 days to be exact. So you have about a week of ship time. If there's any free role player scenes somebody'd like to act out or something somebody wants to work on, you can have a little time now, or we can just kind of fast forward.
I've probably been in the science lab doing some homework of
I
this
would've-
Civil War.
Just been attending to the Vulcan, and Franks would have been in and out of sickbay relatively quickly.
The Vulcans comes out of his healing trance during the voyage. I mean, it's like severe pneumonia. He's well on the mend, but it's going to take a little while for him to get back to 100%. But the treatment's proven very effective. Commander Morox, give me a reason science difficulty 2 assisted by the ship's computer science.
Science.
get
Would
information.
research help on this?
It would indeed.
Excellent. Science. In the ship's computer science, was it?
Computer science, yeah.
Computers. Science. Oops, wrong button. Ah, well, anyway.
Nice. So you gain momentum. And let me send you some stuff.
And that's what I'm going to be doing during this week, setting up in the conflict, why they're at war, what caused it, why they're asking for peace.
Okay, let me just post this in the main chat. Let's see. Putting that in the Discord, and there's a little bit more to come. And for the stream and YouTube, I'll just read this out. 53 Aquarii is a wide binary system. It's about 100 AUs across, with 2 Type G stars, both of which support Class M planets on which sentient life evolved. The Shilneans are humanoids, and except for a vestigial dew claw high on their wrists opposite their thumbs, the Shilneans appear human. The Encalians are reptiloid bipeds whose bodies are covered in scoot-like scales, with particularly thick scoots protecting the head, back, and chest. Despite this bony protection, Encalians are still capable of rapid movement. Their 3 fingers and thumbs end in retractable claws. Descended from amphibious predators, the Encalians remain pure carnivores, and their dentition is more than a little unnerving to many species, particularly given their average height of 2.13 meters, or 7. The representatives of the Shilnean and Encalians have agreed to meet on a planetoid called Peace Rock, located at the Lagrange point between the 2 suns. Peace Rock was put into place about 300 years ago in a joint venture between the Shilnean and Encalians after an earlier conflict that almost wiped both species out. Ever since, it has been the designated meeting place for face-to-face meetings between the 2 governments' representatives. It was basically abandoned 80 years ago at the beginning of the current conflict. The complex on the airless surface has recently been reactivated, repaired, and refurbished in expectation of the current peace talks. That's actually will be ongoing during your transit time from Memory Alpha to 53 Aquarii. And the tech level of both species is approximately equivalent to Earth about 10 years ago, circa 2155. Any questions or trying to dig for more data?
Well, I have my questions, but this could also be easily answered by the ambassador, too. So,
Okay.
so if you have that available, that's just open knowledge. If not, I'll just ask the ambassador.
If I have, oh, there it is. Send you that information.
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends?
Probably because somebody tried to give them a dish they didn't like.
All I can
Talk too
picture
much.
now is Homer Simpson walking to the boxing room when he's about to box Dredrick Tatum. That's all I can think of now.
There you go, Captain.
And do we have any information on why they are asking for peace talks now?
That is not in the database.
Cool. Thank you.
So if nobody has anything else, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward time about a week. Get you to. So you come out of orbit over the Memory Alpha site. It is a pretty barren planet. The new Federation Council has engaged on a truly ambitious project to construct a facility here, which will theoretically collect all the knowledge and publications of all the member species of the United Federation of Planets, creating a kind of massive archive of information, literature, history, philosophy, technical information, while also acting as secure storage facilities for government documents, records. This is also where, in future, Captain Star logs will be archived. It's going to have all sorts of, you'll be able to seal records and unseal records. It's really this incredibly idealistic project to create a galactic library. They've just started the main buildings have just recently finished being built, and they're putting in the massive computer cores and storage facilities now. The Vulcan Academy vessel Strek is in orbit and comes alongside to dock with you. Do you want to meet the ambassador at the docking port, or?
Sure would, but before docking, I'm gonna let the doctor know that the Vulcan passengers are going to be debarking aboard the ship.
Okay.
And if you could get them ready for, get them ready in case any medical needs to be tended.
Yep, Dr. Satek is now mobile, still moving a little slow, but he definitely can move on his own, so it's no problem to get him and the rest of the Vulcans are moved off the ship before the ambassador and her aides board.
Right, and then I will say to the commander chief, I think it's time to meet the ambassador.
Of course.
Right. And chief will accompany. Oh,
And how do you say that to Rai?
Yeah, Tarai.
and Osborne will, because we're on the ship and everything, he has the advantage of a security team.
Right. Kind of having him as an honor guard kind of thing.
Yep.
So the ambassador steps in those wonderful flowing Vulcan robes. She's got the kind of embroidered sash in riding down either side of her, falling from both shoulders. Her aides are also in robes, but less ornate. She stops in the docking port, and he wants to speak first.
So yeah, when she comes in, I
Okay.
want to greet her.
Okay, so yeah, she's just stepped aboard.
Ambassador Tarai, welcome aboard the Aurora.
Thank you, Captain. And she holds up her hand and in the Vulcan salute. I wish you peace and long life.
Thank you, Ambassador. This is Commander Morox and Chief Osborne.
She nods. She is an older Vulcan, which really have no idea what that means, but a Vulcan displaying the marks of age usually means pretty dang old.
Right.
She might have been born in the year 2020.
Right. Her aides are much younger. Captain, I would appreciate it if we could be on our way as quickly as possible. Once we are settled into our quarters, be happy to brief you and your senior staff on the 53 Aquarii situation, and then perhaps you'd be so good as to offer me a tour of your ship.
I would be honored, Ambassador. Commander, please ask Helm to depart the ship, and I will show you to your quarters, Ambassador, so that you and your entourage may get set.
So the Columbia class is actually built as part of in the secondary hull with a VIP or ambassador quarters for the ambassador, which you see here.
Ooh,
Guest quarters are kind of on
Pretty.
the same deck in the primary hull up here for her aides. And it has, of course, living space, office space, meeting space.
Very pretty. But yes, I will take them there and show them their.
All right. So they get settled in.
oh, cool! It's at one of those points where the primary and secondary hulls meet.
And we'll just sort of fast forward things if nobody has any objections to the briefing and the ambassadorial conference room. Let me move you guys over. Who all do you want at the meeting, Captain?
The security officer, the doctor, probably. And I will have Mercure as well in case there's any language issues we might have to work.
Okay.
Basically everybody.
Okay. Fair enough. Whoop. Cat tried to jump up on the table and missed, and it was pretty darn funny.
He's upset that his brother's lost in combat.
Exactly. Okay. So here you are around the room. The aides are there at the screen, and the ambassador is at the head of the table. Thank you for joining me. As I'm sure you're all aware, the Federation places a great deal of importance on these upcoming negotiations. You're also about a month out from the Fifth Theory Query Eye system at Warp 6.5, so you've got some travel time here.
Everything is so far away.
This is the interesting thing about this era. It really gives you back the sense of scale of the Alpha Quadrant and Alpha and Beta Quadrants. I assume you have done basic research on the system and its inhabitants, the Shilneans and Incalian, correct?
Yes, I understand their conflict is over mining rights.
This current iteration, at least that is the proximate cause. The Shilneans claimed that the Incalians, Shilneans claimed that the Incalians were encroaching upon a segment of their system's Cooper belt that had been ceded to them in the last round of conflict between the two species. The Incalians denied this, and then the Shilneans attacked several Incalian mining operations in that sector of the belt. That was approximately 80 of your years ago. They have been fighting ever since.
So why are they asking for peace talks if they've been fighting for so long?
Probably because they've been fighting for so long. 80
But
years.
what do they expect to get out of this? A lasting peace doesn't sound viable under the circumstances.
Well, neither is endless war.
As we discovered on Vulcan, a lasting peace is possible should all factions involved be willing to put in the necessary work and time to make it so. My planet, and Earth too, not to mention the conflict between Denobula and whatever the Denoblians' historic guys were, I'm blanking on it right now. All of these conflicts eventually came to the point where all sides realized that it was either make peace or cease to exist. I believe it is this point that the Incalians and Shinaeans have. God, I wrote it and I can't even pronounce it. Shilneans have reached as well. Their progress as a species, both technologically and scientifically, has been repeatedly held back by these conflicts. The conflicts have also used up a vast array of resources within the system over the centuries. However, it is the Incalians who have made the first overtures in this effort. Apparently, they have been able to win several significant military victories and hold strategic advantage currently. Instead of pressing their advantage, however, they used their leverage in order to bring the Shilneans to the peace table.
Has either side made any demands for
Not,
the
go
peace
ahead.
treaty?
Not as yet. The very fact of the agreement for peace talks is a major step forward for both species.
Given the Federation's position as mediator, will the Federation be expected to enforce any treaties that are come to?
It is not the Federation's intent to become the galaxy's policeman, I believe is how you might put it.
That was my concern.
However,
Sorry, Ambassador, have they made any other request of us? Request for medical supplies, any shelter request, supply request?
they have not. They appear to be somewhat reticent of outside powers encroaching on their civilization. So our assistance has been limited thus far, and they're asking to the mediation of the conflict.
Hmm.
Well, the Aurora is, of course, at your disposal, Ambassador. Whatever you need of this crew, you simply just need to ask.
Thank you, Captain. That is quite generous.
In the meantime, though, Doctor, I want you to prepare medical supplies. They might not ask for it, but I want to be ready in case we can render any aid to any of the injured in this conflict.
If we have any medical information about them, that would be helpful. I don't want to accidentally poison them with any of the medicine we have on board.
Is a medical scan or scientific data about their species in our database, Ambassador?
Unfortunately, our information is somewhat limited. Certainly, I doubt there would be as much there as the doctor or indeed any of us would like. However, we will give you everything we have.
Any piece of information will be helpful, Ambassador.
Indeed.
Chief, I want you to study up on this meeting place, try to get a diagram, and try to run simulations on any threats that might come to these peace talks. I want to be ready for anything.
Hmm.
Yeah, I suspect they won't be forthcoming with information if they're this isolationist. I'm asking for help.
Additionally, Ambassador, on our arrival, I would like you to be accompanied by a Starfleet security team of my own choosing for your own protection. If we're dealing with a war, there might be parties interested in seeing these peace talks fail violently.
I understand your caution, Chief. However, I'm afraid I will have to reject your offer.
I want to
Are
try to
you
get a.
to make
I'm trying to get a
peace?
read on her.
She's a Vulcan.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
Chief, I'm going to have to agree with the Vulcan on this matter, as any show of force may be seen as a threat from us,
You will be peaceful or else.
as well intentioned as it might be.
You're welcome to make a presence command roll.
Or
Difficulty.
no. I'm not trying to force it. I'm trying. When she said I don't want a security team, I'm trying to determine whether or not she thinks that's whether or not she thinks it's because it'll look bad or because she doesn't want a security team with her for some other reason.
As far as you can tell, she's being sincere. She doesn't want it because it looks bad, and she
Okay.
continues. She says, "After all, Surak walked into the desert to meet those under the raptor's wing, by himself and unarmed. It is in his tradition that we must continue if we are to hope to bring peace to these warring people."
All right. I'd at least like to be present just in case.
There will be a reception the first evening we arrive after we settle into the facilities on this Peace Rock. I would, of course, Captain, like you and your senior staff to join us there.
And you
We'll
can
be
just see
honored.
that Osborne is just stressed out by all of this.
I believe the Incalians and Shinalans have arranged for joint security aided by a third party.
A third party?
Indeed, I believe it was, and she kind of looks over her. She looks towards this aide, whose name I don't have in front of me. Talessa, who says, "Indeed," and she pulls up a pad. I know I wrote the name down somewhere. The Svina Event and Entertainment Services Cartel from the Orion Syndicate.
Oh no.
Because we need more parties involved.
And these Orions are providing security for the event, for this reception.
The captain's eyebrow kind of quirks, and she says, "Indeed, I understand your concern, Captain. However, this entertainment services, the event and entertainment services cartel appears to be quite legitimate and have made something of a name for themselves in event planning and security services in this quadrant. They
Very
will
well. I
also
will.
be providing preparing the food and providing services for the what they call Peace Station.
Very well, Ambassador. I will yield to your judgment.
I have never dealt with these Orions before, Captain. However, as much as they have a reputation as a species as criminals and slavers, not all Orion business concerns are criminal. And the concerned parties appear to trust them.
Throughout this, you just see Harrison get visibly tense.
Yep, same with Osborne. You can see the sort of the vein on Osborne's neck just throb a little.
Is that supposed to do that?
So the captain will see this, and I'll give like a little look. That's kind of like we'll talk about this later.
Mhm.
Lieutenant Merrick, in the meantime, I want you to study up on these two races. and try to learn if there's any greetings that is customary to their civilizations, or any taboos in their civilizations, things we might be able to avoid.
Of course. Ambassador, is there anything in the Vulcan database on these two species in terms for their lingo dialect, as well as other cultural references?
Indeed, we have complete linguistic information for both species. So our universal translators have already been calibrated to them. Of course, there is always a possibility of misunderstanding, and the differences between a database and the actual spoken language are often significant, as I'm sure you're aware. We will, of course, provide you with all the information we have. The most significant thing that you may be confronted with is the Incalians being evolved from predators still enjoy consuming their meat fresh. And you see her turn just a bit more green.
Harrison, wasn't already tense over Orion's the mention of a predatory race, them evolving from a predatory race, makes him even more tense after what he just dealt with.
Same thing with Osborne.
You two okay?
This whole situation has set me at an unease, Commander.
Well, if there is nothing else, Ambassador, I believe we all have our duties to attend to.
Quite.
All right, so the meeting breaks up. We'll take you back to the bridge for the moment. So yeah,
And-
like I said, you have about a month of travel time.
Okay, so before we do any of that, right after the meeting, I want to call the commander and the chief to a conference.
Okay.
And the
Well,
chief is
by
just
the
going to.
way, I've adjusted the ranks of the supporting security characters down to chief petty officers, which is below a master chief.
Petty officers and crewmen and all that fun.
Right.
Commander's just going to put his hand down on the table and he says, "This is a terrible idea."
What do you know about these Orions, Chief?
I know that between the Orions providing entertainment and security, the ambassador's refusal to have a security detail, and mediating a war.
Oh, you cut out.
Yeah, get out again, Grennan.
Yep, you're completely silent now, Grennan.
Lousy internet.
Yep.
What would Osborne know about the Orions at this point? How
So,
much intel?
Brennan, you cut out, and I think we got to peace treaty with no
Oh,
peace talks with no security. I think it was the last
Oops.
thing
Yep.
last thing I heard.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, between all of this security plan is going to have so many holes in it, we could fly the Aurora through it.
I don't like it either, Chief, but the ambassador is quite clear. She does not want to make it like we're a threat to the. And I think I agree with her. I think if we were to come in armed to the teeth, it would make things worse and not better.
Oh, I wouldn't suggest going in armed to the teeth. I'm not that paranoid, but still, to go in completely unguarded in wartime, even to a diplomatic talk, that's just foolish.
Well, surely there are some advantages we can create in this situation. For example, our transporters. They should be able to beam anyone out at the first sign of trouble, correct?
That's right. I guess we could see if the engineering team might be able to whip us something up to improve our odds of beaming the ambassador out.
Yeah, some form of beacon. However, the compound may be shielded.
Hmm.
If this is truly a place for peace talks, I doubt there'd be much shielding. But that is something we can do when we arrive at this planet, is that we could scope it out and create transport zones. If we know where the ambassador is always going to sit, we can fine tune our transporters to just beam out that location.
All right. Guess I'll work with Erickson on that.
Yes, although that court we must also be careful. It would, if I was, say, negotiating, it would seem a bit strange if the negotiator was prepared to beam out at any second. If you get my drift.
Correct. This will just stay between us, though, and
Of
only
course.
as a last resort.
Of course.
Of course, although, as I said, Erickson will need to be brought into the loop.
In the meantime, however, let's try to find all we can about this Orion Entertainment Company.
Agreed. I think out of everything I've heard, that's the thing that troubles me the most. It's the I want to say most obvious point of entry for something to go wrong.
And I'm sure I could also arrange with the ambassador for us to meet this company prior to the negotiation.
Right.
Kind of see who we are dealing with.
And of course, I'll work with Lieutenant Merrick, see what I can find.
Make it so, Chief.
Is there anything else you need from me?
Not at this time.
All right. And the chief leaves.
What are your thoughts, Commander?
Ooh, certainly far from comfortable arrangement. Although, clearly someone wants negotiations to be, shall we say, light-hearted. Are you an entertainment company of all things?
This is either going to be the most formal peace talks we have ever been to, or it's going to be the most entertaining peace talks we've ever been. I don't know which one I like more.
Well, I suppose after 80 years of unending warfare, a break is nice.
Well, you know what they say, Commander. When in Rome.
Yes. It's a shame. Space is infinite, yet it's never large enough, is it?
For some people, it just isn't.
Yes, I'll see if I can dig out any more information.
Keep me informed, Commander.
Of course.
And I'm going to head to my ready room.
Ah, comfy seat.
Comfy seat. It is comfy. COMFY.
If
So-
memory serves me correctly, the captain shares the most uncomfortable seat on the ship.
I'm just going to assume that Morax came past Harrison's say comfy seat. We get a very awkward look from Harrison. Like, what is wrong with you?
Well, no, Archer
He's going to
recommended some
discreetly
changes
scan
to the command chair,
Morax.
so it's more comfortable than it once was.
It depends how much he wants to haze the new captain. It all, you know.
It's true.
I was gonna say on the Hatfield in a couple hundred years, the captain's chair is unimaginably comfy.
So, are there any advantages or information searches or things anybody wants to do?
Oh yes.
Okay.
First off, Orion's.
Okay, what kind of information are you looking for?
Well, specifically, I want to look into this. What are they called? What's the specific company?
Post it. Zvena Event and Entertainment Services Cartel.
So, my first plan is to learn everything that I can, like surface-wise, everything surface level I can about
Okay.
this company. That way, when we get there, if anything seems off to me about the way they're operating, I'll know. Then, once that's done, I'm going to start doing some real digging.
Typing you some stuff now. Give me a. I'll let you do reason security difficulty 2 assisted by ships, computers, computer security.
Okay. Do we still have momentum?
2 it looks like.
Okay. I will spend one. Does my investigation focus come into play?
Yes.
The ship is rolling in 8. Oh, but when Grennan rolls like that.
All right.
Sorry, when Osborne rolls like that.
So 2 momentum gained. Let me type this up to you.
I think in 2377 we have shuttlecrafts that can roll better than the ship.
Oh, definitely.
Ooh, that's bad.
I mean, I wrote earlier, you don't know what it's like. You don't appreciate a 2377 ship until you're in an NX.
And just rolling just absolute garbage.
I mean, like, everything I've rolled for the ships would have been hits in any other ship.
Yep.
Because I think, like, this
That's
one
an
was
11.
an 11. Yeah, this is an 11.
Well, I think that Aurora's highest system is a 7. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
we're a while back from, you know, the true badass.
So,
exploration stuff.
so arcs are going to go into the ship.
Oh yeah. Yes, its highest possible roll is a 10. A 10. And that would be like its sensor science is a 10, whereas like for the Hatfield, its sensor science is a 14.
It's fine. It's not like the captain hasn't already tried to break the ship once.
God. We're all gonna die.
Optimism, Captain.
We all have faith in our captain not to kill us.
Brennan,
Harris is
have you
quietly
ever
drinking
watched
a porter.
have you ever watched the movie Down Periscope?
No.
Okay. I don't think anyone's ever seen it.
I think you're the one that's seen it.
If Harrison didn't have a drinking problem before coming on the ship, he definitely had one after his first day.
Anyway, it's a comedy movie with Kelsey Grammer, and he's like the captain of this old World War II era submarine, and he puts it through its paces by doing a dive test. And I always wanted to recreate that scene, so I did that by sending the ship to warp. You know, until the ping from the bulkhead came up.
Warp 7.2 and nearly broke the ship.
But hey, we know we can get it to that speed if we need to.
So here's the thing. Here's my thought on this matter, given what I'm reading about this. I want to try digging. When I say dig deep, I'm not digging deep into recent things. I want to see if I can follow this company back as far as I can and see if there's anything off. Because when the words specialized mercenary company
And
pops
entertainment.
up, huh?
And entertainment.
Yeah. Well, it says here, I'll read it out to you. They are a specialized mercenary company that specializes in providing security for high-level events like corporate retreats, diplomatic summits, etc. They also can take on all other elements of such an event: planning, cooking, serving, domestic work, etc. They have a high reputation in this region of space and appear to be very legitimate and very competent. They also provide entertainment. Of course. But the fact that they are designated specifically as a mercenary company, I mean, yeah, sure, you can hire mercenaries for a diplomatic summit. That does happen, but I don't know. The fact that they're the fact that they're being hired in to act as a not counter, but as a balance to the to Starfleet coming in has me a little concerned. So, as I said, GM, I want to do sort of a deep dive into their company history, find everything I can now that I have a basic outline of what they are and what they do. I have a whole month to do it.
Right.
To sift through.
Where's the dirt?
files.
Okay. The Federation databases, of course, are somewhat limited on, there's a certain point where Orion history, I mean, because honestly, the Orions are races in the Alpha and Beta quadrants, and they used to be a big, major imperial kind of power. And when that collapsed and they fragmented, records that are any kind of accurate get a little sketchy. So
Yeah.
this is going to be let me see. Let's do insight security difficulty of, let's do difficulty 3, assisted by the ship's computer's security.
Let's see. I'm gonna spend another momentum. Get a third die.
Okay. Okay.
Focus in investigation again, I assume.
Yep.
I'm gonna re-roll that complication. Ugh. Hey,
Go
the ship.
ship.
Okay, so looks like you managed it thanks to the ship.
Wow,
The ship pulling through clutch.
that was.
I will never speak ill of the ship again.
You should. Your cat.
Until the next time.
or perhaps I have to,
Ship hates
and that'll keep rolling.
Yeah.
Maybe
We'll
maybe the ship likes being trashed on.
Oh boy, here we go.
Don't the ship anymore, Captain. It might hate you again.
So. Ugh. That was a bad set of rolls from me. That was a.
Oh my god.
Wow, ship's actually not doing too bad.
I'm telling you, you have to degrade the ship and then praise it, and it rolls good. We
So-
found the trick.
That was
You're
6
right.
successes on what I was working on.
Wow. Yeah.
Praise the ship.
Create some advantages.
And your
Great.
difficulty is what,
Our
3?
captain's
So that's
bad.
3.
You said it looked like it was 2. Insight Science 2.
Okay, so 4. Okay. And I'll get to you in just a second. Let me finish typing up for Grenade.
Yeah. Although I do think I actually have I might have a thing that might kick in depending on what I find out. I'll explain if I see it. We can discuss whether that applies. I have a talent that I don't think I've ever seen used in a game here in the fleet. Let's see. Oh boy, it's a lot of typing.
Yep, sorry. Didn't really have any of this prepared, so I'm
No, it's fine.
whipping it out.
This is one of those I have a feeling I'm not going to like when I'm about to read.
And you're just gonna find 3 years worth of actual information, and all of it seems to be totally legit, and not a sham corporation that was set up 3 years ago to hide their other illegal activity.
Whew.
Okay.
Got it? Okay.
Let me switch over to see what was after.
Okay, interesting. Wait, does that planet name ring a bell?
If it does, that's completely because it was in my subconscious. I
Okay,
that out
no,
of the
so
air.
no. So it's not ringing a bell because it's not related to anything we're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're not familiar with that planet.
Okay. It's not like it's one of the planets that's somehow vaguely related to what we're doing now. Okay. 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 In that case, that's all for now. I still don't like it, but that might be mild Federation racism talking.
Typing up some stuff for Merrick now.
So while he's typing up that, Osborne's going to go to the captain's ready room and, press like the call button.
Enter.
Osborne comes in. He says, "Well, I've finished up pretty much all my preliminary lookings into on this Orion company, and well, hate to admit it, I might have been wrong. They do seem pretty above board, all things considered. They started up about 50 years ago, defended Monarch on a planet from a rebel attack, beat them off rather handily at that, from what I can read, and since then they've been a reputable security company. However, I would still advise caution on them, however. I think this company might be the weakest point in the security chain, even though the company might be above board. Infiltration isn't out of the realm of possibility, especially as far as mercenaries are concerned.
Take all precautions you feel necessary, Chief. I don't want
All
us
right.
to be caught by surprise down there.
Hmm?
Don't want to be caught by surprise down there.
Of course not. Well, I'll keep an eye out. and an ear.
Very
If that'll
good,
be
Chief.
all. That'll be all.
You're dismissed.
Thank you. And he goes back to his station. And of course, even though the ambassador said that she doesn't want any, I still am going to organize a couple of security teams just in case. They won't be deployed, but they will be ready to go.
Standby status.
Yeah.
Okay. For 2 momentum, I'll let you create that advantage.
Sure. We have plenty.
And make a note of that to remind me next session, because we're probably going to wrap up here in a second.
Yeah. Make a note of that. Osborne's sheet, I guess. Oh, this entire situation has Osborne so thoroughly stressed out. This is like his worst nightmare.
Yeah, Harrison's been stood on the bridge the entire time. One hand on this railing. His knuckles are white.
Who was
Well, I don't know because I can't see. I can't see like his character.
Who was that?
See like his line.
Harrison?
Harrison.
Okay.
Just stood on the bridge, hand on the railing, white knuckles.
For a month.
Anytime he's on the bridge, he's just got his hand rough around that white knuckled. He's like not happy about any of this.
So, I
Yeah,
thought it'd be a
for-
circulation.
For reference, if I'm not specifically in sickbay, I'm standing to the left of Morox.
Fair enough. You're a bones type.
Yeah, it's just for the new player.
Oh, okay.
That's the way Harrison does things. If he's not needed in sickbay, he's on the bridge.
So, are there any other advantages anyone wants to create before you get to where you're going?
I mean, I would like to familiarize myself with just sort of a basic layout of this place, and I'd work with Erickson on that.
Okay.
And we
Which one
wanted
I
to
would-
set
I would
and
be
we
able to
wanted to
do
set
would
up that
be,
transporter thing, didn't we?
Yeah. But that would probably have to happen after we get there and are able to actually scan the
Scan the place and
scan the place and
that's a question. I do have a question. Do we, and I'm sure the ambassador would have been able to answer this for us, and it would be in our mission orders and such. Do we know whether or not the plan is for us to get there and then the others show up, or when we show up, everyone will already be there and we're just the mediators showing up?
The plan is for the Aurora will kind of drop out of warp, kind of towards the edge of the system, and make contact with both sides. The ambassador will, and then the Aurora and the representatives from the Incalians and Shenalians will arrive. Will coordinate to arrive at the Peace Rock at the same time. The Orions are already there, having been part of the security teams and restoring and getting the station ready.
Oh, I really don't like that.
I think the only thing that Harrison would be doing would be now studying up on the physiology of the two host species as well as the Orions.
I love how Harrison and Osborne are just in a perpetual state of just.
Harrison doesn't trust alien species. He went from having 2 unknowns to 3 unknowns, and one of them with a history of violence. as well as one being a predator species, which he just got done dealing with a predator species.
He's so done.
Happy.
Love it. Oh, this is great.
So I shot you that, Grennan, and then to kind of wrap up the episode, since it is just a hair after 2,
Okay.
sorry, 5 in my time, you come out of warp at the edge of the system.
That
And
looks friendly.
soon as you
Uh-oh.
do, let me drop something to Grennan.
Oh no.
Ship is red. That means it's angry at us.
We're about to have to fight.
Either that or I'm going to spam up pop-up birds.
Yeah. Tactical alert.
Captain, we have a proximity alert. We appear to have a number of fighter squadrons on sensors incoming.
Tactical alert, Chief. Hail them.
Understood. Hailing.
Uh,
And
Merrick, before they can be hailed, you're receiving a hail from.
Captain appears we're being hailed by one of the fighters.
And someone looks like that appears on screen. Unknown ship, clear the area immediately. You are entered zone. Clear the area immediately. Conflict is imminent.
I am Captain Vogel of the USS Aurora. We are here for the peace negotiations. We bring Ambassador, I forgot the name already, Tara.
And
Tara,
behind you,
Teray.
another group of ships drops out of warp.
oh no.
And both groups start moving moving into tactical formations with the Aurora right smack in the middle of things.
You're going to be in danger, Captain. I am returning to sick bay. Head of
I'll-
any trouble you
I'll
may
not-
cause.
I'll nod to the doctor and I will say, helm, evasive maneuvers.
And that is where we will end things tonight.
Oh, this is not good for Osborne's heart.